He ran the offense incredibly fast. Anybody could see he had a great football game, took care of the ball, ran the offense. Certainly really, really proud of him. And after the game, he was very emotional. I certainly can't appreciate that. I loved everything about him on Saturday. I really did.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but they ain't one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
The backup quarterback is always the fan favorite, the most popular position player on the football team. And Felipe Franks this season has the chance to hold the single-season record for completion percentage in the history of Razorback football, a record that stood over 40 years. KJ Jefferson comes in against Missouri, throws 3 touchdowns, runs for another. People are saying the offense looks as good as it has all season, if not the best it has all season. And now there's people advocating for KJ Jefferson to start against Alabama. There's quarterback controversy stirring within Arkansas's fan base right now. What do you think about it? 877-377-6963. Got that to get to. Urban Meyer reportedly made his decision when it comes to the Texas job. Jalen Catalon is getting recognized as one of the best defensive backs in all of college football. And we are also going to have Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, join us at 7 o'clock this morning on a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including the Camry, what I drive to work every single day, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4. Do it here in Arkansas at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Is there controversy? Is there legitimate controversy within the quarterback room of the Arkansas locker room right now?
There's conversation. I don't know that there's controversy.
Probably a better way to put it.
There's conversation. I mean, there's a game to go, maybe in probably a bowl game. I say possibly. I think it's probably. Arkansas gets an invite to some bowl game this year, but I don't think there's a controversy. If we were 4 or 5 games left, 3 or 4 games left, maybe you would label it a controversy over who should play. But it's one game against Missouri, who's got a pretty good defense. Now, they're not Alabama's defense, but they're a pretty good defense. And, so don't discount anything that KJ did on Saturday based on who they were playing. What KJ did was real, and he did it without Rakeem Boyd, who's been there, every step of the way, more or less, other than, I guess, missing the LSU game with Felipe. He's been there to be one of his mainstays in his offense, main assets in his offense. So what KJ did should not be undermined, undercut. It's clear that he is the future. I mean, who is probably bad news for right now is Malik Hornsby. It makes his battle next year to be the starter, or at least get significant playing time, more uphill, is all I would say. I don't think it really matters at this point with one regular season game and a potential bowl game who really the starter is at this point. I think it'll be Felipe the rest of the way.
You mentioned the bowl game.
If he's healthy.
I got a feeling if Arkansas does play in a bowl game, if I had to pick, it's probably going to end up in the Liberty Bowl or in the Armed Forces Bowl, which is now in Dallas, including an SEC team, just by proximity.
Is that the old Cotton Bowl? I think that's right.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% on that. I know it didn't used to be associated with an SEC team. Now it is. I think it was. There's some connection there. But if I had to guess, that's where Arkansas is going to end up playing. And this will be a conversation we'll talk about later in the program. But Kendall Briles, with the game plan he had against Mizzou, and we were talking about this before the program began, KJ had the advantage of them. And by them, I'm saying Missouri's defense, not game planning specifically for him. But as you mentioned yesterday, that's the number one passing defense in the Southeastern Conference. That's not a bunch of scrubs you played on Saturday. And KJ Jefferson, looked really, really good. And we'll hear from Sam Pittman coming up in the program. He feels like that KJ, as you heard at the open, gave them more running the football, which I think anyone with two eyes can see that very case. And, I mean, there's elements that Felipe has on KJ. The accuracy is clear and evident based on him going 18 for 33, and Felipe's just been so deadly accurate all season long. You saw that KJ did some things, but I wonder, like, if Felipe's not fully healthy heading into this Alabama game, which he's gutted through. We got to remember, y'all, he's gutted through some injuries this season, whether it's a knee, whether it's his ankle, whether it's his left wrist. Like, he has played through some pain this season. You got to give him credit, but it almost feels like that after one game, you're wanting to toss him aside, because I keep talking with Morning Rush listeners and saying, well, the offense looked better than it ever has with KJ Jefferson. And listen, that's hard to argue, because the offense, he had almost 300 rushing yards, and then KJ had 3 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. That's a hard point to argue, that the offense has looked as good as it did on Saturday.
And again, I want to drive this point home again. The numbers going into that game, before Missouri played Arkansas, 3rd in the league in total defense, 31 nationally. In rushing defense, Missouri was 5th in the conference and number 30 nationally. And passing defense, number 1 in the league, 53rd nationally. So let's not act like they were chopped liver of a defense. Now, they play in the East. Well, they've still played some pretty decent teams. Played Alabama, exactly. They played LSU, because LSU went to Columbia. They played some teams out of the West. I don't remember who else they've matched up with out of the West, but obviously they played some Western Division teams in addition to Arkansas. There'd be one more somewhere in there because they would have played 4. And then they've played Georgia, and they've played Florida, and those teams would be on their schedule. I know they still got 2 games to go. They still got Georgia maybe. But so let's not act like they've played a chopped liver schedule here. I know it's the East, but they've still played a pretty good chunk of the West. So, I'll maintain that those numbers that Arkansas went up against defensively were pretty good numbers. I think what really happened on Saturday is Missouri wasn't prepared for KJ Jefferson. They were prepared for Felipe Franks. And that shows you the difference in the quarterbacks, because Missouri didn't have an answer. Now, Arkansas clearly didn't have an answer defensively for what they had prepared for. So that was, more concerning. But, yeah, is there some conversation? Maybe. I don't think there's controversy at this point. If Franks is healthy, he gets the start. He's the more experienced guy. Who do you want on – could you say there's clear separation in the level of play between KJ Jefferson and Felipe Franks? I wouldn't tilt that table towards KJ Jefferson. So who do you want out there? I want the more experienced guy against a team like Alabama. So to me, it's an easy call. If Felipe Franks is healthy and there's no risk of setting him back in his development for the NFL Combine and Draft, I'm putting him out there Saturday if he's healthy and ready to go.
This happens sometimes in college football. There'll be someone that's a leader for quite some time, whether it's a season, couple season, then another guy comes in and plays a little bit better, plays what some people appear to be better, and they almost want to cast the veteran aside. And it seems like, now it's not all Razorback fans, and again, if you want to hop in on this conversation, 877-377-6963. But it's I have seen this, whether it's message boards, whether it's on this program, whether it's comments, whatever the case may be, there are some fans that think that KJ Jefferson should start against Alabama. Now, I think there's a difference between playing and starting. I think Sam Pittman said that he's earned the right to play ball. Now, you can take that however you want. I would assume by that statement that he might try, him and Kendall Briles might try and get KJ in the ball game at some point on Saturday. But I wonder this. If Felipe Franks is struggling, if he does get the start against Alabama and he struggles for a while and they just can't seem to score, do at some point in the game, do they make the move to KJ Jefferson? That's something you'll need to watch out for Saturday against the Crimson Tide.
All right, we're off and running on a Tuesday. You can call or text your thoughts, 877-377-6963. Brought to you by the all-new Wills RV in Northwest Arkansas. Get out and explore right now. They have the luxury brands, and they got new ones arriving every day to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. You can find those at Wills right now. Plus, they have a lifetime warranty on every new unit they sell and a mobile service shuttle to help you keep it going. It's all at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Coming up, Urban Meyer has made a decision on the Texas job. We'll share that next on the Morning Rush.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Pre-order your holiday hot tub today at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. You can pre-order right now and save up to $1,000 off on select models at Burton Pools and Spas. Hot tubs start at $28.95 with 26 models to choose from. Don't forget about endless pools with 8 swim spa models to choose from. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry is immediately hiring for weekend and part-time local and over-the-road driving positions. Go to work for a great family-owned business transporting frozen and refrigerated goods since 1997. At Brent Higgins Trucking, you truly are part of a family that cares about your future and your family. Contact Brent or Connie today at 479-997-2366. That's 479-997-2366 for weekend and part-time local and over-the-road driving positions.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. Why buy your next vehicle from Harry Robinson? Because they're the best of the best. In fact, over the past 5 years, Harry Robinson Buick GMC and Harry Robinson Salisal Ford have been voted by their customers best of the best 25 times. When it comes to your next vehicle purchase, repair, or routine service, bring it to the best of the very best. Harry Robinson Buick GMC and Harry Robinson Salisal Ford. And always online at harryrobinson.com. The best of the best.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
I told you that front tire needed air.
I know, Dad.
Where's the tire iron? I told you, always keep a tire iron and a jack.
I know, Dad. I got it. Roadside assistance is included with my shelter insurance auto policy. It's one of the reasons you told me to get it, remember?
Maybe you do listen after all.
At Shelter, listening to you is what we do best.
Ask Shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Divorce is never easy. Many times problems continue to arise long after the divorce is over. If you're dealing with a high conflict custody or visitation issue, you need an attorney that handles those specific type of cases. Call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners, able to handle high conflict custody cases all over the state of Arkansas and other states. Check out kevinhickeylaw.com or call 479-434-2414 in Fort Smith and 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Jefferson's in the gun. They put Burks in the backfield as well. Going to toss it to the tight end. They're going to throw the football. Touchdown, Arkansas. Blake Kern.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is The Morning Rush. That's it.
There's a lot of things going down in Austin, Texas right now. A lot of people angry within that football program. We'll talk with Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, because I'm sure he is elated to see that seems like the fire is burning right now in Austin.
Chaos in Austin?
Yeah, little chaos in Austin. As Clay likes to say, if he drove by Daryl K.
Chaos in the cantina down there?
Yeah. If he drove by Daryl K. Memorial Stadium and it was burning down, he would pour gasoline on it.
Of all the things for you to say, of all the adjectives, verbs, and everything, chaos in the
I think that's what they got going on in Austin. A little chaos in the cantina.
So. You couldn't have thought of any other phrase to put in there.
It just kind of rolls off the tongue.
So,
I feel like and I'm back to that. I feel like I have been the least chastising.
You have.
I'm the one that beat you. But I will say this.
I got destroyed yesterday.
I talked about this before we came on. You did not do the show shirtless yesterday.
I'll take care of that today.
Okay. Just want to make sure that
I took a verbal beating yesterday from you two, from Phil, from Maddie, from
Oh,
Jason Carroll.
there was not a beating in here.
You hush for a second. Plenty of texters. I have one person. I had like two people come to my defense. Even at Arns text me yesterday.
So your mother
the show.
and who else? Was it?
My mom did.
Okay.
I asked my mom to call in just to cover me, and she didn't even do it.
She's probably ashamed.
Thank you, Ty.
Sorry, that's the worst. That's the worst. That's the worst. I'll go. I'll leave it there. But I expect
I'll just stand with credit that I came up with the opt-out joke yesterday.
Hey, if nothing else, you got 9 free tacos.
Yeah.
So.
That's what I had. A few people. I think BE was one of them. Was like, hey, you lost, but you got 10 free tacos out of the deal and 3 shots of tequila.
Yeah, there you go. So.
Yeah,
it's a win for me.
I'm excited to watch the live video stream of you shirtless today, fulfilling that.
I'll make sure the heat's turned up in here.
There you go.
I'll make sure I'm out of the building.
Probably smart on that. So.
All right, so we got chaos in Austin. Come up with a better phrase for me. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Doesn't roll off the tongue that way. Just so find me a better phrase for what's going on with the Longhorns.
It was reported by several sources yesterday that Urban Meyer has declined the Texas job, and this was the guy that
has a head coach.
Yeah.
The Texas job that still has a head coach,
and that's why it seems like the turmoil and the chaos, as you mentioned, seems to be escalating more and more in Austin, Texas, in regards to the Longhorn football program. And I was just very, I legitimately, and you remember the Saban, a couple years back, they were trying hard after Saban. They reportedly offered him $10 million.
Well, there was reports he was out eating dinner with them, in public and with their board and their AD. And, it was a disaster.
Message boards are really, really fun, and I know there's a lot of Texas Longhorns fans. Good. This is good for Arkansas because you don't want Urban Meyer coaching college football again, particularly in Texas, because if he became the head coach, you would have to play Urban Meyer next year. And some would argue, well, this is when you want to play him. I'd argue you don't ever want to have to play Urban Meyer.
I'd argue the other side of that just for the fun of it, but I think a healthy Texas program helps Arkansas. And here's my stance on it. The better Texas is, the worse A&M is. Arkansas is only going to play Texas twice a decade, maybe. You're going to play A&M every year. The better Texas is, the more 4 and 5 stars that they scoop up in that state. Yeah, you may miss out on one, but the more A&M's missing out on. So I would argue that A&M's been the benefactor of the demise
Texas
of the Longhorn
sucking.
program. So to me, if Texas football is better, A&M football is worse.
Because think about
It's a seesaw there.
The last national championship that Texas has been to was the one where Colt McCoy went down. It was either 08 or 09. It's one of those 2 years. Colt McCoy goes down early, and they
Played
bring
Alabama
in they bring in Garrett Gilbert, and they're going back and forth. And really, Texas has not been the best Texas program in the past decade. You could argue a couple. You could argue Baylor. You could argue Texas A&M. You could even go as far as to say, based on some of the years, SMU has had a better football program at times than the University of Texas. And that's just TCU early on, not so much the latter half of the decade. But that just shows where the Longhorns are in the grand standing of things, not only in college football, but in Texas right now. And did get some bad news when it comes to Texas. Fred Akers, former Texas head coach, former Razorback, passed away of dementia, unfortunately. And this will be more of a conversation we can dive into with Clay. But I did find it interesting because I knew him as the Texas head coach, but I didn't know he was a former Razorback until I did a little research on him yesterday.
Yeah, and probably a lot of people in our audience, because you'd have to be probably over a certain age to probably remember all of those things. But and you're going back into the Southwest Conference days, so you start getting probably, I don't know, I'm 45, and I knew that former Texas coach and some of the, but you kind of got to be reminded or prodded of some of those things because it's been 30 years. So so it's sad to see some of the legends go, sad to see some of the names you grew up on pass on, but you're going back to my childhood, and for some people's teenage years and 20s that are in the the veteran part of our audience here this morning.
Yeah, he had two undefeated seasons. He took over for Darrell Royal, so that's a legacy when you take over, similar to like Holtz taking over for Frank Broyles. When you take over a legend like Darrell Royal, it's tough, but he had some quality seasons. But I just found the dynamic of him being a Razorback and then coaching at Texas, I found interesting. But sad news out of that. And then again, we'll unpack this more with Clay Henry. But back to the Urban Meyer conversation, if you're Texas, Herman absolutely knows what's going on right now, that he's trying to get shoved out. What do you do if you're Tom Herman? What do you do if you're the Board of Trustees? This is a no-win situation for everyone right now. And, of course, we're laughing because it's hysterical.
Because it's not our school.
Yeah, because it's not our school, and it's Texas, and you would love there still to be some fun. You know what would be great is if the final nail of the coffin, don't fire him this year. Don't fire him yet. The final nail of the coffin is when they come into Donald W. Reynolds Raceback Stadium next year and Sam Pittman and company beat them.
That early in the year make the move.
That's the end of the line for Tom Herman. Well, I would do a lot to have that occur. And it's okay to ask for someone's job as long as they work for Texas, right, Tommy?
Exactly. Help me here, because didn't he hire some new coordinators for this year? Hadn't he already been down that road?
He let go of Manny. It was Manny Diaz he let go a while back, who's now at Miami. He had let go his OC and his DC, I think, this past year. So he's already had, like you're saying,
he went
turnover.
Right. He burned through that part. So when you fired your coordinators, the only thing left is you, generally, is what happens.
It's like when the Jets fired Greg Williams, their DC. Adam Gase, you're next.
You're next, yeah. Hey, we're brought to you by World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. You can lock in your price for 2 years right now. So for the next 2 holiday seasons, you know that your price is going to remain the same with World of Wireless. 3 TVs in your house, about $74.99 a month, and that includes the Hopper 3, which is the best, the latest, the greatest technology on the market today. Plus, you get a $100 Visa gift card when you sign up for DISH right now with World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH for WOW! World of Wireless.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours at Frank Rowe Furniture. For the month of December, all appliances on sale at Frank Rowe Furniture. French doors, side-by-side, and top-mount freezer refrigerators. Dishwashers, 5 cubic foot chest and 14 cubic foot upright freezers. Electric coil and smooth top ranges. 4, 5, and 6 burner gas ranges. 100% made in the USA Speed Clean. Conservator made by Whirlpool, and Hot Point made by GE washers and dryers. All appliances on sale. Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Mention you heard this on ESPN Arkansas and get an extra $500 cash back when you buy a new or used RV. Merry Christmas from Braden RV.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button. Give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Smith's in the backfield. They keep it on the ground with him coming left side. Smith's got a chance to get in. Touchdown, Arkansas. Traylon Smith.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Quickie headlines coming up here on the Morning Rush, including Jalen Catalon getting recognized as one of the best secondary players in all of college football. It is a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including the Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4. Do it here in Arkansas at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Before we talk about Jalen Catalon, Tommy, the Arkansas men's basketball team, they figured out who they're playing. Southern University. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, tip-off is set for 7. We'll have airtime for you here on ESPN Arkansas, ESPN 99.5, and hitthatline.com starting at 6:30.
Yeah, Musk tweeted out that he reached out and they talked to every D1 program in the state. Now, obviously, they're already playing UCA Saturday.
Correct.
We'll get to that game time. It's been moved. So who would you have left? You'd have Arkansas Little Rock, which we knew there were some conversations going back, and UAPB, Arkansas State. Am I missing anybody else? I think I got all the D1s that way. So, I mean, couldn't work it out. Now, I think at some point you're going to see them play all of those, and obviously they're playing UCA on Saturday. So they're going to go with Southern, a program they've played twice before, once in the mid-'80s, played them again 5 years ago. They've beaten them twice. So this will be a game. And when you say, well, why couldn't they work it out? Listen, testing protocols, I mean, it wasn't about the game and game tape and being able to practice and prepare for the game. Your first questions, I'm sure, at this point, if you're Musselman and his staff, is tell me about your testing protocols. How often are you testing your players? When have you tested last? When would you test and get results before you would get here? Hard to turn a game around when you don't already have existing testing protocols that line up with the standards of the SEC right now. That's the difficulty with these late game or late changes on putting the game together, is making sure your protocols line up with what your league requires.
And Coach Musselman, I know that it seemed like him and Coach Darrell Walker, former Arkansas Razorback, wanted to play, as you mentioned. Here's what Coach Walker had to say. He said, Coach Musselman and I had a good conversation about the possibility of our teams playing this week. Unfortunately, the circumstances and timing won't make it possible this season, but we are both looking forward to future games between our two programs. So I'd like to see it, the Razorback connection with Walker and company, but this will be something that you're at least going to have to wait this basketball season because it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and again, that's one of the things you're looking at right now is who's testing. COVID testing is similar to yours. Now, Arkansas, as we know, has had a high percentage, and we've been told it's 11 of 13. Musk was on the show and said the majority of the team has already tested, and he didn't tell us 11 of 13. Clay's been told that number. We've talked about it. So whatever it is, the staff and the team at Arkansas, but you still have to conform to what the SEC standards are. So that's one reason these football games within the SEC are so easily moved around on the chessboard here, because all the teams have the same testing protocols, have the same guidelines, because that's why you only played conference games this year. When you start going outside of your conference, some leagues test once a week, some are testing 3 times a week. There's just a lot of questions that have to be asked that don't have anything to do with playing a basketball game.
And you mentioned games being moved around. Ole Miss at Texas A&M has been postponed. That game was scheduled to be played this Saturday. It's now going to be played on the 19th. And back to the Arkansas Razorbacks when games getting moved around. The basketball team was originally scheduled to play at UCA at 5 this Saturday. That game has been moved to 7. We're going to have Arkansas Hog reaction for you following the conclusion of the IMG post game here on Saturday.
So that means we get to talk a little longer. So, I mean, we were going to have an abbreviated post-game show because basketball was going to begin with their pregame at 4:30. So now we'll have a full show for you. So IMG will begin their pregame coverage at 8 a.m. Saturday. We'll follow that. And, depending on the end of the game, we won't be on probably all the way till basketball begins, but we'll be on a good portion of the time between football and basketball for you Saturday, in between the Arkansas-Alabama game and then the Arkansas-UCA basketball game Saturday night.
Got a chance to catch up with Sam Pittman yesterday. Myron Cunningham has been named captain by his teammates, so he's going to take over for Rakeem Boyd in that fourth captain spot.
Yeah, and you knew it'd be an offensive guy, and Myron Cunningham certainly makes sense for that role. So no surprise there, as he'll be one of your 4 captains to represent you at the coin toss, and he's been a leader for you throughout the year on that offensive line.
No update on Felipe Franks, Grant Morgan, and Monteric Brown's injuries. That was what Sam Pittman, when asked about that question. Hopefully we'll hear something more concrete when it comes to their status for Saturday, but I wouldn't bet on it.
I'd like to have heard a lot more about Grant Morgan. That's probably the one I know you'd like to know more about your starting quarterback, but Grant Morgan at linebacker is one you'd really like to hear a lot more about.
He goes out with a little over 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Clay actually wrote an article on this, which we're going to dive in more to when he joins us, and it talked about his impact, because I know we've had the debate, hey, who's the most impactful player for this team? Is it Jalen Catalon? Is it Felipe Franks? Is it Grant Morgan? Clay really dove into that on Whole Hog Sports, and we'll dive into his conversation with the publisher of Hogs Illustrated coming up at 7. Good news coming out of the SEC office yesterday. Moses Moody named SEC Freshman of the Week. This past week, he made 70% of his shots. He was 14 or 20. He hit 4 of his 6 threes, and he is the only Razorback this season to score in double figures. First 2 games, didn't start out hot. You were kind of wondering, hey, how long is this going to take for him to get acclimated to the college game? It took him 3 games. That's all it took for the true freshman. Muss was just giving him so much praise following the 3rd game. 10 free throw attempts, the ability to score 24 points. I think he went 8 for 13 in that 3rd game. Just starting to find his rhythm a little bit. And his usage is not that high. He is just he's making the most of his opportunities, whether he's off the ball, whether he's on the ball. Fun player to watch, and I cannot wait to see him excel in this offense the rest of this college basketball season.
And let's see what happens when you get into league play. They haven't played a Power 5 level opponent really at this point, so let's see what happens when you start playing some SEC teams at the end of the month. Let's see. I guess is it Auburn? I'm trying to
First game on the road at Auburn.
December 30th. So they start right there on the New Year's Eve weekend. So let's see what happens when some of those games start being played at this level. What you're doing against Mississippi Valley State, UT Arlington, North Texas, Lipscomb, those level of opponents. If you can't do it there, you would think you probably couldn't do it in the SEC. So you've cleared those hurdles. I don't want to stamp anything yet until we really see it at an SEC level.
Last headline for you, and this is going to be what our next conversation is about. Jalen Catalon has been tabbed Jim Thorpe Award semifinalist. He's one of the 12 of these players, the nation's best defensive back. Now, he leads all FBS freshmen with 89 total tackles and 48 solo tackles. He's delivered blow after blow this season. I know 2 of those have resulted in targeting, but this is one of the most exciting young players on that roster, and there is a legitimate debate that he's your best football player.
Yeah, and we've seen what happens, at times when he's not out, whether it was the half he's been missing, and you're just excited. What can the future hold for this guy for a couple more seasons? So good to see him getting some accolades and some praise and being on some of these lists early on. But we know that he drives that defense from the back end. There's no question about that. So, all right, those are your quick-hitting headlines. They're brought to you by United Welding Institute. Hey, if you're looking to make a change in your career, you want to make some real money for you and your family, like, averaging $2,800 a week, United Welding Institute can help you do that with a high-paying job in fields like the oil field, power plants, refineries, pipelines, and many other industries. That's where the graduates of United Welding Institute are finding great paying jobs right now. Seize the opportunity and take the next step towards a successful and essential career. United Welding Institute in Pottsville. They've been training field-tested welders since 2013. So make a change in your life and your family's life with one call to 479-968-3390. That's 479-968-3390. Or visit UnitedWeldingInstitute.com. That's UnitedWeldingInstitute.com.
I want your take on Jalen Catalon this morning, 877-377-6963. Call or text. I know when anytime Arkansas has a high-flying safety, immediately the first comparison you go to is Steve Atwater. I know some people have said Kim Hamlin. You've had some good Kenoa Kennedy. You've had some hard-hitting safeties over the years. I've said Earl Thomas, Clay Henry has said Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, who had a great game earlier this week, 2 interceptions against the Denver Broncos on Sunday Night Football. But there's no doubt in anyone's mind, whether you're a Razorback fan or you're just a casual college football fan, that Jalen Catalon is a great football player. And we've seen that despite his frame, despite the ACL injury he suffered his senior year of high school, this dude is a baller. He gets after you. He makes the right hit. He always seems to be around, got his nose for the football, whether it's forcing fumbles, whether it's recovering fumbles. There's just some guys that have a knack for making plays, and Jalen Catalon definitely belongs in that category.
I guess if, and you're right about all of that, there's one thing you'd say, you got to probably coach him out of some of the targeting stuff, and because obviously he's been hit for targeting twice this year, so got to keep him out of that because he's important to his team. You need him on the field. This last game, I don't know, is it the difference if he plays the half? Probably not. I mean, from the standpoint that Arkansas was in the game, had the lead to start the fourth quarter, but he's a guy that is a difference maker. He's a straw that stirs the drink kind of player. He's a guy next year you're going to build the defense around, and the run game from the safety spot, he definitely comes down and makes stops there. So no question about his impact and his importance. If you had to point to one thing in his game, I just think about it because twice this year it's been an issue as he's been flagged for targeting. There's one thing in his game that's got to clean up and go to the next level. It's avoiding those type of fouls and penalties.
Well, I think when it comes to that conversation, like there's a difference between a Vontaze Burfict and then a Jalen Catalon. The first hit earlier this season, I mean, as angry as that was to see him tossed out of that game, there was validation for why he was thrown out late in the first quarter. The second one, there's like a debate whether it was or not, and I just it's hard. It's one thing if you watch a guy and you say, well, that guy's purposely trying to take someone's head off and deplete them and injure them for life. But it's another thing when you're just trying to lay the wood and make a good hit. And if you watch Jalen after he makes hit this season, he's not staring over a guy or intentionally gawking at them or anything. And this is where we disagree a little bit. You think sometimes guys should just pull up and not make the hit, but that's just that's wishful thinking. Because if Devontae Smith runs a slant route and looks like he's falling down this weekend against Alabama, and Jalen just lets him go by because he's scared of getting targeting based on Devontae's head falling down or whatever, and then he manages to regain his balance and go 85 yards, I mean, that's what you're dealing with. You
still got to get out of this. And listen, I don't want to get. This is about Catalon. This isn't about highlight reel hits, and I don't want to get into a targeting discussion. But that's just an area that's a problem for him, right? We'd agree with that when he's had to sit a whole game by sitting two halves, right? So we'd agree it's an issue. He's been ejected from 2 games. How can you say it's not an issue, Ty?
I mean, if you want to say it, you can.
You don't think it's an issue? He's been ejected from 2 games. He's
and
been disqualified.
One is a debatable. I'm not going to argue with you on the first one, but
is it an issue though? I mean, that's the only thing. And I don't want to get it. All I'm saying is, he is that important to his team. You need him on the field. That's my point. Is if there's an area we don't like the rule, let's not argue about it. My point is, Catalon's that important to his team. You got to clean up whatever it is. You don't like the rule. Let's not argue about the rule. We agree Catalon's that important. You can't be missing 2 halves of a game. He missed an entire game when you add it up this year. Probably more than that when you actually add up all the minutes. He missed more than 60 minutes probably when you add it all up. He's too important to his team. That's my point. So don't. I don't want my point getting lost in all of this. That this isn't about targeting. This is about his importance to the team, and whether we like the rule or not, you got to conform to it. I don't like the fact that the speed limit is 55 on certain highways, but I got to conform to it. So he's got to conform to this just like every other player. He's too important to not be out there in critical games for a half or more. Not only the time he misses in the game, he's disqualified, but then the half of the next game or the rest of that game or whatever the situation is, depending on when the foul occurs. So that's my point is whatever it is that's got to be coached up, cleaned up, fixed up. I understand you don't like the rule. I don't necessarily like the way it always is because I agree with you. The intent's not there to hurt somebody, but the rule is what it is. So we're not going to change that. They're not going to change that because of concussions. My point is he's too valuable to this team to not be out there.
So you don't think they're going to change? They're not going to take a hard look at the rule?
Concussions, I mean, no way, dude. No way.
So do NFL players not get concussions?
Different thing. Different thing when you're talking about professional football. And I would be surprised if they changed that.
And and correct me if I'm wrong, but you said that there should be the rule where there's that you should be an automatic ejection or the 15-yard. That's what you.
That's
we
my
had this
opinion.
discussion, but you just don't think it's going to happen.
Right. I mean, my opinion isn't the rules committee opinion.
And you think concussions are the reason for it not occurring?
Well, yeah, 1,000%. It's the whole reason the rule's there. Why do you think the targeting rule's there to begin with?
Yeah, headage. I'm not disagreeing with you.
They're not going to. They're going to ease off on. I mean, listen. You have a choice from head to toe where to hit somebody. You can hit them below the head. You don't have to hit them in the head. You can hit them in the midsection. You hit them in the belt buckle. You can hit them in a lot of other places besides the head and neck area. And guys can choose to hit someone somewhere else.
And Tommy, this is where you and I differ a little bit. You act like sometimes when it's a split-second decision and a guy, again, the perfect example is what occurred during the last game that Jalen was ejected where the guy is falling down. You act like Jalen can't really get that much lower. And you can't just let someone go based on the assertion, oh, this guy might fall. Because if he goes by them and takes it 60 yards,
I don't want to try. I don't want to. This isn't about. This is about his importance to the team.
No,
that's my point. Is if there's a place where he's got to improve, it's there. That's the end of what I want to say there.
JB in Benville says Catalon has been the best player on the field this year. He should be considered for more awards. He's a ball hawk and an enforcer on defense. Text out of the 479 saying Jalen Catalon reminds me of Tony Bua. We had Tony on a few months ago. He had a great bit of information that he shared with us. And Tony, like Jalen, seems to be always trying to jar the football loose. I mean, Jalen has forced I know at least one fumble this season, might have forced a couple, but it always seemed like that those two guys were getting after it. So that's it. Again, who does Jalen Catalon remind you of this morning? He's part of he's a Jim Thorpe Award semifinalist. Get on the conversation, 877-377-6963. And we'll welcome in David in South Arkansas to the conversation here on the Morning Rush. Now, David, we'll talk Jalen with just one sec, but your Kansas City Chiefs, they might get the 1 seed now with the Pittsburgh Steelers losing last night.
Of course, and since Alex Smith, such a great quarterback, I was happy for him that he was able to come back, able to play. Such a horrible, horrible injury that he had. Definitely. A question about this targeting thing. The game Saturday, the Missouri guy who got ejected, I'm honest, I'm biased, of course. I'm a Razorback. I did not think that particular call was targeting. I don't know. I thought at first it was like just nailing a, defenseless receiver, but then they called it targeting. I thought he led with his shoulder. Do y'all have any statistics on how many players have been called for targeting this year? Is there an officiating crew that seems to call more targeting calls, or any team that has had more calls against them like that? Just some numbers, if you could, please. Yeah. Oh, and I did order my playoff tickets. Woo! So, I'm set to go to Kansas City for some playoff games, man. Talk to you later.
David, if you need a person to tag along with for those playoff games, you let me know. I'll be happy.
Are you okay in the cold? Because it will be cold in Kansas City.
I have been to Kansas City. My grandmother lives there. I've been to Kansas City. Now, I've not been to Arrowhead when it's been freezing, but I have been to Kansas City when it's snowing. So, David, feel free to call in if you need someone to tag along with. And he's referring to Nick Bolton's hit on John David White in the second quarter, late in the second quarter of that game, which was an ejection. JD got popped, and that would have been his first career catch in an Arkansas Razorback uniform. And then the all-SEC linebacker, Nick Bolton, just crushed him on a slant route.
Yeah, defenseless player because he's a receiver at that point, and there was contact in the head and neck area. We got to understand it's not targeting, and again, I shouldn't have even brought it up with Catalon because then we go down this rabbit hole here. Point was that's where Catalon can improve, but targeting is more than just leading with the crown of the helmet. Crown of the helmet's one way to target. Anytime you hit a player, and a defenseless player, in this case, White was a receiver who had his focus and attention on receiving the ball, he was hit in the head and neck area. with your forearm, your fist, your shoulder, your helmet. There's many ways to target a player by rule. That's what happened on that play. Again, you may not like the rule, but that's the rule. Again, I don't like some of these highways that are 55 miles an hour, but that's the speed limit. I think they ought to be 65, but they don't let me choose. So, I mean, again, we may not like the rule, but that's the rule.
I think some people have a hard time figuring out what's the difference between the chess, because I'm watching that hit, and I guess you and I have a difference. To me,
I just don't think people don't want to read the actual letter of the law on what the targeting rule is, and then when you see it, well, that's not really what happened. That's not what they meant to do, or that's not what they wanted to do. Well, but yes, but their head, but their shoulder pad got into their head and neck area. Yes, their forearm got into their head and neck area. When there's contact in the head and neck area, and it's a defenseless player, it's targeting by rule. And that's why it is reviewable, because it's such a fast, quick play, you're going to make sure that it happens. Listen, officials don't like it any more than we do, because it is a contentious call, but it is what it is.
Well, I think some people, like, there was a debate, and again, I've watched that Nick Bolton hit on John David White several times, and I guess you and I have a difference in opinion, because it looked like to me he hit him like upper chest. But you feel like it was more in the head or neck area, which, again, that's fine. We're welcome
it was right at the bottom of the head and neck area. I mean, it was right there. So.
And then the Jalen Catalon hit, I felt like he not only led with his shoulder, but he hit the guy in the shoulder. I didn't feel like he hit him in the neck. Now, you initially said that you didn't like the call.
I didn't like the call, but when you watch it in slow motion, his forearm extends out into the head and neck area. Don't like it. It's our guy. It's our defender. But they got it right, you know.
And that's, again, that one's a lot. I think there's a lot more debate surrounding that particular hit than there was the first one he was ejected.
I don't want to get distracted off what my point was. If there's a place in his game that needs improvement, that would be one area,
that
because
particular
he's too important. And I know you think it can't be avoided. I disagree with you, because I study a lot of high school film now, not as much college, because I officiate high school football, and I see players lay off hits every week that could have taken someone's head off, and they avoid contact, or they lay off, or they go a different, or they slow down their speed, and I believe if it can be done at that level, it can be done at the college level. You don't have to have the highlight hit. I think a lot of times guys are just looking to get the highlight hit that's going to get them the praise in front of their team in the team meeting room. And I think you think it can't be avoided. I disagree with that point.
And I haven't said that, but I do say, Tommy, like to say that it's like easily avoidable. I don't know if you've never said that, but there's a reason players are in college compared to high school. They're a lot better at staying on their feet. They're a lot better at making yards after the catch, and
so they're better at controlling their bodies.
Correct. And
right.
So that doesn't just apply to the defensive players, Tommy. It also applies to the offensive players that can who look like they're unbalanced at a certain point and then get back up and go. I mean, I would rather, because you don't want to teach players to slow up, like, because that's going to lead to broken tackles. You don't want to teach players to go in soft. That's going to lead to broken and missed tackles. So,
but what you do want to teach them is to hit them make contact as a defender in the strike zone, below the shoulders, above the waist.
Yeah, and I think Jalen did that in the second one, but it's hard to when the guy is literally falling like it's not. I think you're making it easier out to be than it actually is. But I agree with you that Jalen needs to work on that. But I also think, like, I'm not going to get mad at Jalen Catalon for delivering a blow, which we've seen so many great Arkansas safeties do over the years.
My point is he's too important to be off the field. That's the only point I'm trying to make, is if there's an area of his game that he could improve on, it's where he makes contact in order to remain on the field with his team, because he's too important. If anything next year he could avoid would be those fouls, so he could be out there with his team, because there's no other Catalon to put out there. There's no one that can replace him that's that good. That's my point. So I don't want my point to get lost. Hey, we're giving away an Elise road bike and also a 12-inch Rip Rock Kids bike from Champion Cycling in Fort Smith. Go to hitthatline.com. We'll give away this pair of bikes to 2 different winners. We'll do that coming up in about 10 days or so. So be sure and listen in for all the details. Go to hitthatline.com and get signed up right now from Champion Cycling and hitthatline.com.
Pre-order Order your holiday hot tub today at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. You can pre-order right now and save up to $1,000 off on select models at Burton Pools and Spas. Hot tubs start at $28.95 with 26 models to choose from. Don't forget about endless pools with 8 swim spa models to choose from. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is. We've got great year-end deals on Camry, RAV4, Tundra, Highlander, and more. Do you hear that?
That would be my mom. I'm home for the holidays, and apparently she's still eavesdropping on my calls like she used to.
Oh, what was that again about year-end deals?
Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Okay. And did I mention every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan? It's happening again.
Dad, hang up the phone.
Toyotathon is on now. Come in today. Tell your mom.
During Toyotathon, qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months or a total bonus of $3,000 on a new 2021 Toyota Tundra Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places. Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever occurs first. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 1/4/21.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. See, explore, discover with Wheels RV. In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler & Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741.
It's time to plan the Christmas party for your business or family. And the place to make it a special and memorable time is at Doe's Eat Place in Fort Smith. Award-winning steaks and atmosphere, along with the largest selections of adult beverages in the River Valley, await your evening. When you think about what to get that hard-to-impress boss or family member, gift certificates from Doe's are sure to impress. Don't delay. Call Doe's Eat Place at 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, open 5 till 9 Tuesday through Thursday and 5 till 10 Friday and Saturday.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you. I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Always get more at
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly to mostly sunny sky today. Our high this afternoon, upper 50s to low 60s, mainly clear. Right around the middle 30s tonight. A little warmer on Wednesday, our high in the upper 60s. And then sunshine returns on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Western Arkansas Counseling. Help a veteran today. Call 1-800-542-1031.
You're listening to the Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
But I thought KJ gave us a little bit more as far as in the running game. He ran the offense incredibly fast. Anybody could see he had a great football game, took care of the ball, ran the offense. Certainly really, really proud of him. And after the game, he was very emotional. I certainly can't appreciate that. I loved everything about him on Saturday. I really did.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but they ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is the Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
So David in South Arkansas said he ordered 4 Chiefs tickets for playoffs.
Oh.
And he's
David,
insinuating
2,
3, 4.
Yeah. There you go,
David in the Morning Rush crew. You're more than welcome.
I'll drive. Ty can buy the beer, and Jenkins can get the tacos.
Yeah.
So I don't have to stay here and run the board?
Well, it's a Sunday
It's
game.
a Sunday.
Well, no, I mean, obviously we're going to do the show there from Monday morning, aren't we? From Arrowhead?
I don't know about from Arrowhead. It'd be
Need
a
to
little
talk
cold.
to
No, we're the Morning Rush. We're the most popular.
All right, you're right. You can stay and run the board.
Need to talk to Mr. Hunt about that. I'm forgetting his first name, but see if we can end up doing that.
I was thinking you could take care of the tacos.
I'm done with tacos.
I'm sure we can make our way into Arrowhead to watch the Chiefs take on their playoff opponent. We're going to talk to Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, coming up in just one sec. It is a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out the full line of 2020 Toyotas, including my favorite, the Toyota Camry. Always dependable, ever dependable Toyota Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4 at your local Toyota dealer here in Arkansas. Toyota, let's go places. Clay, I mentioned this earlier. You wrote a really good piece on Grant Morgan. We'll dive into that conversation more coming up here later on, but I want to first get your take on what you saw on Saturday in Columbia. I texted you Saturday morning asking, hey, what did you hear about Felipe? And you said, well, he's going through drills right now. A good bit of gamemanship from Kendall Briles and Sam Pittman. Just your overall thoughts on how KJ Jefferson played Saturday against the Tigers.
Well, this is my sources tell me that he tried to practice in midweek. They gave him a shot in his ribs. And to do those shots, I think they have to have an ultrasound. And so they wanted to do the same shot so he could throw, test it out Saturday morning in Columbia. and they couldn't get a hospital or a clinic to allow them use of their clinic to do the ultrasound so they could, make sure you get that shot in the right. If you don't get the shot in the right place, you risk puncturing the lungs. So you have to really know what you're doing, and I guess that goes without saying. But
who was the NFL player?
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, there's an NFL player that had that.
The Chargers
same thing,
former starter.
Yeah, so I guess with COVID, a lot of places are shut down. I don't want to, that are a little bit wheezy about letting other people just roll into their clinic, at odd hours. And that would be an odd hour real early on a Saturday. So that wasn't available. So instead, they waited and did the procedure Saturday morning in Fayetteville, and then they flew him up and got him up there in time to warm up. And I watched the warm-ups, and generally Kendall Briles is going to be with the quarterback that's starting, and he came out, spent all of his time with Kendall. In fact, the throwing and catching, the long, tall stuff was done, where Franks threw it to Kendall. Kendall had a hard time throwing it back to Franks. It was a long ways, so his arm is not as good as Franks. But and then they stopped and they talked for a while, and then they went in and they came back and then they threw some more. And at that point they went ahead through the however they had planned to do it, with KJ taking the bulk of the snaps with the first team out. Franks took more snaps. You couldn't really tell it, but by then the word had filtered through the press box that they're going to play KJ. I don't think it was gamemanship, Ty. I think they tried to get him ready. I don't think they would have done all they did Saturday morning to hit that shot and get him up there and let Kendall try to warm him up. That was the real deal. And it's been my experience that when you get the painkiller shot, you're trying to play.
Clay, so after just the kind of basically the story, the monologue you just told about them getting ready, KJ ends up getting the start, and I know that Tommy and I were sitting next to each other, and it's like, all right, this game's over. Like, no chance the offense clicks. And really, KJ might have revived the best offensive performance of the season for this Arkansas football team. And we've had conversations so far this morning. I know that some fans have already texted in saying KJ should start against Saturday, but I thought Tommy said it better. There's not really a QB controversy, but there is conversation. With Felipe, still his status being unknown. Sam Pittman said yesterday that they still don't know on his status for Saturday. Kind of what are your expectations for the Arkansas quarterback position heading in to the Alabama Crimson Tide game?
Yeah, number one, you have to go back and analyze what really happened in the game. And two things, as far as I'm concerned, decided that the offenses were going to play at a high level. First of all, you've got Jalen Catalon, who's out in the first half. That helped Mizzou move the ball. Then you look, the best defensive player on the field, who's likely going to be an All-America, is Nick Bolton. He played, maybe 10 snaps to start the game and got injured. Came back in the second quarter, played 3 snaps, made tackles on 2 of those, and one of those was deemed a targeting foul and was ejected. With him off the field, the left side of the line completely dominated Missouri, and they could run any play they wanted over there, those weak side draws, and you just circle. You come to the line of scrimmage if you're the Arkansas quarterback, and you circle where Nick Bolton would have been, and that's where you go, whether it be a run, whether it be a pass, whether your protections. And he's their best player. He's a first rounder, and they didn't have anybody that they could put out there that would simulate anything close to Nick Bolton. So, then you go into the second half, and you got Catalon back, but Monteric Brown's hurt. Malik Chavis is hurt. You're out of cornerbacks. You've played decent at safety with Catalon out, so you put Catalon at cornerback. Well, you don't have him to kind of clean up the missed tackles, but you kind of sail along okay in the third quarter. You've got a lead, and then the the worst thing that could happen, Grant Morgan, just like the worst thing you could say for Missouri, Nick Bolton goes out. Grant Morgan, who's got 111 tackles, leading the nation in tackling, he goes out at middle linebacker, and they put in Andrew Parker, and he disappears. I mean, they run play after play to that area, or when Arkansas overshifts to compensate, they come back and hit the other area, which is a void. And they're running 46-yard runs, 15-yard passing. It's chunk play. Adds up to 292 yards and 21 plays in the fourth quarter. So that's what I saw in a nutshell.
All right, we'll get back to this conversation. Take your calls and text as well. 877-377-6963 is the best number to call or text to interact with us here on the Morning Rush. Hey, what's on your Christmas list, and who is on your Christmas list this year? I bet they'd love a gift card from Buffalo Wild Wings. Take pride in your generosity this year. Give them the key to the promised land. Gift cards from Buffalo Wild Wings. When you spend $25 on gift cards before December the 31st, get a $5 bonus on Buffalo Wild Wings. So quit creating future laundry for your loved ones with giving them socks or shirts or something like that. Give them something they're going to love that's covered in wing sauce this year. That's gift cards from Buffalo Wild Wings. Fort Smith, Sherwood, Conway, Little Rock, and in Jonesboro, that's gift cards from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Coming up, we'll get into the most important player for the Arkansas Razorbacks this season. That's next.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Christmas time is here.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours at Frank Rowe Furniture. For the month of December, all appliances on sale at Frank Rowe Furniture. French doors, side-by-side, and top-mount freezer refrigerators. Dishwashers, 5 cubic foot chest and 14 cubic foot upright freezers. Electric coil and smooth top ranges. 4, 5, and 6 burner gas ranges. 100% made in the USA Speed Clean. Conservator made by Whirlpool, and Hot Point made by GE washers and dryers. All appliances on sale. Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Prime rib for breakfast. And then we topped it with a freshly cracked fried egg and melted Swiss. Why? We knew you needed it, that's why. The new prime rib and fried egg biscuit from Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for a limited time during breakfast hours at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house?
All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you. Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Ho, ho, ho! What do you know, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I've cooked up the perfect way to beat the 2020 blues. This month, you can jingle all the way home in one of our Rath Road-Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. Is your current car less reliable than a reindeer? Is it giving you resting Grinch face? If your old ride has your tinsel in a tangle, dump that sled and get up to $3,100 extra for your trade. Don't get Scrooged by past credit mishaps. My elves are working round the clock to help you get approved. And my non-commissioned sales staff will make it easy for you to jingle all the way home in a nicer, newer car. Keep in the car you have, get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done once 67 people dump their sleds only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Jefferson flush to his left. KJ still looking. Lots of time into the end zone. And
yes!
He caught it! He caught it! He caught it! He caught it! Arkansas with the 2-point conversion. He caught it!
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Clay wrote a really good piece in Whole Hog Sports and Hogs Illustrated detailing how important Grant Morgan is to his team. And we've talked about the importance of Felipe Franks this season. We've talked about the importance of Jalen Catalon. Well, you saw what happened in the fourth quarter when Missouri scored 27 points and Grant Morgan was out for 13 minutes and did not return. So we'll get into that coming up here on the Morning Rush.
We all know about the importance of high-speed internet, reliable internet in any business anymore. It's impossible because your credit cards run, your phones, of course, run, your business runs on your internet anymore. You just simply can't do business and do it consistently, do it reliably without great internet. And that's where Pinnacle Telecom, the local company, can come in and bring fiber to the door for your business. And if you haven't operated with fiber internet, it just really changes the way you do things. Number one, the speed is reliable. It's a connection you can count on. And more importantly, with Pinnacle Telecom, when service is needed, and it's not often that we need it here in the Morning Rush studios, we have a number for someone we can call directly. Scotty is our salesperson. He's our rep over at Pinnacle Telecom. I've got his cell phone number. So anytime I need help, I call Scotty, and he helps us out immediately. We have a local number directly to someone at Pinnacle. You don't get that kind of service from the national companies, not from your cable company, not from the big national companies. You're not going to get that kind of personal touch. That's where Pinnacle Telecom gives you the personal touch. 479-242-0000. That's 479-242-0000 for Pinnacle Telecom.
We'll get in that conversation coming up, but first want to welcome in Ben, who's in Fayetteville. Ben, you're on the Morning Rush.
Morning, guys. Great show today.
I think I'm just as disappointed as anybody, and it's already Tuesday, but I'm still kind of got a bad taste in my mouth with that Missouri game. Here's a question I got for you, and I know everybody likes to bring up the amount of tackles that Morgan and the other linebacker, Buffer Poole, have. My question is, if their offense could keep the ball more than 2 minutes and 12 seconds, wouldn't that lower the amount of tackles or the amount of tackles that they had to make? I understand that these guys have got a great workload and work ethic, and they're getting a lot of tackles, but it's only because their damn offense can't stay on the field. I mean, that is directly proportionate, but nobody wants to talk about that. Everybody wants to bring up that he's the leading tackler in the nation, blah, blah, blah. But that's because the offense can't keep the ball.
Ben,
well, I think you've got to look at it. You're seeing half the story. So if the offense can't stay on the ball on the field, well, who is staying on the field? It's the defense, right? Look at their efficiency on third down. So it's a double-edged sword. You got to get off the field. You can't, if you give up, a 12-play, 4 or 5, 6 minute drive, well, you didn't do your job either. So it's not just the offense or the defense. It's both. The defense has got to get better at getting stops, forcing punts.
There are two games.
We did not see the Missouri punter Saturday. What does that tell you?
2 games this season, if the offense could have kept the ball, they would have won.
Yeah, but you also got to force a punt. You can't let them keep the ball either.
Get an opportunity. They don't get an opportunity.
They do get an opportunity. Every time the other team has the ball, you can stop them. So it's not one or the other. I think that's wrong to look at it, so blame the offense. So they need to do a better job. They did it in Missouri. That wasn't the problem. Time of possession was almost dead even by the end of the game.
Time of possession was nearly even.
Here's what I would say, Clay. I think you made some good points, but I think Ben made some good points as well. You have another 3.
No, it's both. You got to do both. And you got to do both.
Listen, you're 100% correct in that, but Clay. But they go 3 and out their first possession, and this is one of the areas that I think Kendall Briles might have to adjust, because if you look where he's been over the years, he's run this same, and I hesitate to say methodical because it's anything but that. It's fast, 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 go, go, go. But when you're not clicking on offense and you have 3 and outs, they're getting these 2-minute touchdown drives, you're putting a lot of taxation on your defense. And
now, they did score on 7 of their 12 drives.
And listen, that's there's not a lot of criticalness that you need to contrive from the Arkansas offensive performance on Saturday. But
Missouri did punt twice Saturday.
There's plenty, but there is plenty of times this season where the offense puts the defense in terrible positions, and they go 3 and out, a minute and a half, 2 minutes later, the defense is having to get back on the field.
Yeah,
and
but not in this game.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not arguing that. I just agreed with your point on that. So in terms of what you saw from Saturday's game, if Ben wants to look at the big picture this season, then he has a better point. But to what you said, Clay, it's not really.
It's not. No, you're wrong. And you got to force more punts than they are on defense. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword. You can't say, well, offense has to keep the ball so the defense isn't out there. Well, the defense was out there. You can't change the number of minutes that they were out there. They were out there because they could not force a punt on third down.
So you don't want
over and over and over.
So you don't want a 3-play scoring drive?
And you don't want a 15-play.
If you
have don't want a 15-play.
Let's not put words in my mouth. But
no, I'm just saying in general. Listen, you want clock control offense. I get that, but you're not going to trade that for a 10-play drive that ends in a punt, or turnover on downs. If you can get a drive that ends in 4 plays, 75 yards, and a score.
The best comparison I can make is the Alabama defenses.
Mm-hmm.
When were they better? Were they better in the first? If you want to compare, so let's say I think they went to the spread for Alabama. I think Lane's first season was in 2014. I think
13 or 14.
13 or
changed.
14.
Yeah.
And so from those 6 to 7 years on, which Alabama's defenses have been better? Those 6 to 7 years, or the prior 6 to 7 years?
Prior to 6 to 7
and it's not even close. Do you know why?
Because more time to rest.
Yeah, more time to rest. And so that's not a new idea. That's not a new theory. And to say, well, then you should be saying the same thing to Alabama's defense. No, it's just that's kind of the byproduct. That's the catch-22 of having spread offenses, of having up-tempo offenses, and offenses score a lot. Your defense is going to be on the field more, and they're going to give up more points. That's just how it is. That's not. I don't know if there's.
Saban has said that the days of having a defense that allows 18 points is over.
It's over with.
He said that. He's not the first and only one to say that, but when he says it, it carries more weight.
And he's evolved, and we've seen that because initially he had some harsh, detrimental words when it came to the spread up tempo offense, and then he's gone to it with several offensive coordinators, including Lane Kiffin, Brian Dable, Mike Loxley, now Steve Sarkisian. He's done that with several different people. Back to the phone lines. Want to go to Kagan, who is in Piggott. Kagan, you're on the Morning Rush, buddy.
How y'all doing this morning?
And we're chugging along.
Well, I kind of disagree with what that guy said that just called in. I mean, we haven't had an offense that can score in 6 or 4 plays or 10 plays like we have this year in the past 3 years. So, I mean, the whole deal with our defense is we don't have any depth. We need a 2 that's as good as the 1 to go in there and do the same job as the 1. We don't have depth on defense. And for somebody to say something like that, our offense has had this against Missouri, has had the best game they've had all year. They put up more points than they have all year.
Mm-hmm.
And for somebody to say that it's because of the offense, your offense is what's getting you the points to stay ahead of the game. Your defense just can't hold up because they don't have enough depth. And we're really going to find out where the problem's at versus Alabama. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you're about to face one of the best defensive lines in the nation. I mean, it blows my mind somebody to say that. That K.J. Jefferson guy, yeah, he went 3 and out right off the bat. Hey, that's his first start of this year. I'm sure he was nervous and everything else. But he come back in that game, and he showed us what he can do. And that's just a sample of it. This dude is good. I mean, in time, he's going to develop, and he's going to be a better quarterback. And we might be really mad if he starts scoring in 3 plays every time or 4 or 5, in a minute and a half or 2 minutes. I mean, come on now. You got to think about what you're saying before you're saying it. I don't think that guy did.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't keep up with it like we do. I'm not sure. But the thing that I know is that our offense has gotten a hell of a lot better, and I'll take that any day of the week. Now, our defense needs to step up, but they have been good so far this year, this Missouri game, especially when Morgan went out. But anyway, y'all have a great day, and thanks for taking my call.
I'm more worried about the result of the drive than the length of the drive.
And then a touchdown or field goal. And I don't necessarily think Ben is like critical of that, but I again, that's the perfect example that I can show you is the Alabama example. If you can't see that, which you did, Clay, I think you have as well. If you can't see that is clear and obvious when it comes to that, that's fine. And listen, you're willing to give up a few more points if you're scoring a lot more. What you saw on
you shouldn't score 48 and lose is the bottom line.
No, and you're 100% correct on that. That is exactly right. And the depth, as he brought up, is a big concern. I know that a lot of people have been critical of Hudson Clark as of late. And if you're Jarquez McClellan and you're Jerry Jacobs and you're seeing what's happened with the secondary, how foolish do you look right now? If it was pure and if it was COVID related, that's understandable. I'm not being critical of that. But if it was clearly because they lost their jobs or they were trying to prepare for the NFL, the depth in the secondary right now is a big concern.
Yeah, I don't want to castigate those 2 guys for what they did. They did it for a reason, but the obvious result is that it really weakened the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think. I mean, you can't take it. If they needed to step aside, and they, Jarquez had, COVID rampant in his family. He felt helpless, couldn't help, his family, and had been on quarantine twice. Just like it. How many more weeks is he going to sit out? Every time he's around a family member, then they have COVID, then he's out again. So he had enough of that, and I get it. And Jerry Jacobs wasn't going to play. He'd been beaten out, but those guys could have helped the team, and they would have made a difference in the fourth quarter when Monteric Brown was out, and they had to play Catalon at cornerback. They brought him up on the other side and left Simeon Blair at safety. Simeon Blair is not near the sideline-to-sideline tackler, and with Morgan out, they didn't have anybody to clean up the mess, and that's why suddenly you've got 36-yard runs or 46-yard runs, I think. So yeah, it's the depth issue will be corrected. It's starting the season, you knew they had X number of defensive players. And because of COVID, they ran out of defensive players, defensive linemen against LSU. And against Missouri, they ran out of defensive backs in linebackers. So it's not enough horses, guys.
Let's keep the conversation going. Staying here in Fort Smith, talking to Randy. Randy, you're on the Morning Rush.
Hey, good morning, guys. I was going to chime in, mostly just really agree with Clay. If you want the offensive job is just to score. I don't care if they do it on 1 play, 3 plays, 5 plays. If the defense will go get some 3 and outs, that time of the possession really won't matter. But the time of possession it's changed. I mean, and the going fast. Arkansas is not the only team that goes fast, and football has changed. So defenses are not going to shut these offenses down. So your offense scores, and your defense has to get some 3 and outs or 4 plays. I mean, if you want to get off the field, do that. And I would say, I come from a weightlifting background. We've got to get bigger and stronger in the defensive line. It's a huge thing. I'm excited about to see what the new strength and conditioning staff does with some of these young defensive linemen. But until we get bigger and stronger at the defensive tackle positions, our defense is just never going to be really good. But I don't get the time of possession deal, and you're blaming it all on the offense because they scored too fast. I mean, they scored 48 points Saturday. That's plenty enough points to win. And that's pretty much all I got to say, guys. Have a good day.
Appreciate the call, Randy. I don't think, and this you might have been directing that then. I don't think I'm blaming the offense for what occurred on Saturday, and that's one performance, guys. But if you look at the whole course, take a shot in the dark. Where do you think Arkansas is ranking in time of possession this year? And I know college football's changed, but where do you think they rank out of 127 football teams? Where do y'all think they rank in time of possession?
I imagine it's real high.
124th.
Yeah.
124th in time of possession. Now, that's okay if you have a top 10, top 15, top 20 scoring offense. What you saw on Saturday was...
It can be a deceiving stat.
And that's true. What you saw on Saturday was not consistent with what this team on offense has done all season long. Right. It is clearly the best offensive performance they've had all year. They're 66th in the country in scoring offense at 28 points per game. Now,
without 2 of their better players all year,
and that's
Franks and Boyd.
And again, that's true. But the point I'm trying to make is you can overcome the time of possession if you have a lethal scoring offense. This offense has been lethal at times, as we saw on Saturday, but that has not been consistent enough with what they've done. And so that has led the defense to be on the field far too long. And yes, they need to get off the field better, Clay. I can't disagree with you there. But when the offense is consistently going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, or having quick possessions where the defense is back on the field in 2 minutes.
Then you got to do a 3 and out too.
That's putting more tax on the defense for Arkansas's defense as well.
Yeah, and then you can flip it around and say if the defense would have 3 and outs and get a turnover, it's, the way the defense has played is put tax on the offense. It's a 50-50 thing. And if you'll listen to the head coach, he'll say it after every game. He goes, the time of possession, we were out there too long. Get a stop.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Go out there and do something about it. It's just as much on the offense to keep the ball as it on the defense to stop the other team. That's the way you win football games. You can't have you can't just say, okay, the offense is going to dominate this game. We won't have to worry about the stops. Well, you still lost at Missouri. The defense didn't do any better with the time of possession. In fact, they did worse. The offense did. Well, so it's they've got to find more defensive players, and the caller was right. If you look out there and you see the 3 defensive linemen, and they're not getting any push. They cannot break through to get push on the quarterback.
One guy.
Rare occasions.
Jonathan
Rare
Marshall,
occasions.
that's it.
Well, I thought Julian Coates did too.
He had 1 sack. That's
Yeah.
I mean, they're honestly the defensive pressure this year, and I can't really criticize them for what happened against LSU because you had true freshmen rushing against guys for the LSU Tigers that have been in that program for far longer. I mean, the defensive line pressure has not been good, and sometimes they've had 3 down linemen, and the goal of that specific unit has not been to get pressure the quarterback, like blitzing 4 or 5 guys. But I mean, that's probably been the weakest part of your defense this year.
Yeah,
is
I've
getting
seen
to
them
the quarterback.
blitz, and they don't get there, and
Yeah.
then they'll give up a big play.
Mhm.
So at Texas A&M, they dialed up. They had corner blitz, they had safety blitzes, they brought weak side linebackers. Every position there was a different kind of blitz, and here they came. Boom, one by one they got picked up, and Kalen Mond had all the time to go find the receiver that went where the blitz came. They threw it to the tight end, and he just gobbled up yardage. I think he had
It's a
6 or
numbers
7
game.
catches.
You bring someone from the secondary, you leave a hole for a receiver. I mean, it's a numbers game. So
you got to, if you blitz, you got to get there.
Yeah, you got to get there because you're going to leave somebody open.
It is a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including the Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4. Do it here in Arkansas at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
And back to time of possession for just a moment. You know, LSU had the ball for nearly 42 minutes, and Arkansas still had a chance to win that game with their offense on the field for only 18 minutes, more or less. So I mean, sometimes that stat can be very misleading at times.
Let me ask you. Okay, let me ask you that. Who is outperformed? We know the special teams ain't going to win this argument. Who has outperformed the other unit this year? Is the offense outperformed the defense, or is the defense outperformed the offense? And don't look at just this one game you saw against Missouri.
I think it's quarterback quarter. Yeah.
It's very.
You can pick out. You say, okay, the first half against Tennessee, they're down 13-0. The defense outperformed the offense. And then you look at the third quarter, and they scored 27 points or 24 points. I can't remember what it was. That one quarter was enough to win the game, and that was a quarter that the defense was off the charts. You know, you look at the first game of the season, it was definitely the defense outperformed the offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then I go to Auburn, and I thought the offense outperformed the defense. You know, I didn't think the defense could get off the field. They could not stop Auburn. You know, it looked like you knew what Auburn was going to do. They're going to run inside with Bigsby, and they couldn't stop that. And then you go to Florida, and the offense probably outperformed the defense in that game. I mean, they moved the ball, scored some points, and defense was just like they didn't show. So I think if you go through the season, you see a mixed bag. And, there have been times where you thought, well, the defense is not really playing that well, but they're getting some turnovers, and turnovers really change the game. I'm not sure the defense played very well against Ole Miss, except they got 6 turnovers. And that's the game winner. 2 pick 6. So
and still didn't win by a dominant. I mean, you should win. You should be dominating a team with 6 turnovers.
Except for the turnovers, they couldn't stop Matt Corral. Right. There's no doubt. In fact, they left there frustrated, thinking that they should have had an easy win. Yeah. But the turnovers just changed the game.
Right. I mean, anytime you get 6 turnovers, you should be coasting to victory.
All right, last phone call of the segment. Go to Jared in Russellville. Jared, you got about a minute, buddy.
Hey, good morning, guys. So I would say it's a tale of two seasons almost when it comes to who's better and what's been going on the last few games. You have to give it the offense and not the offense, and then the turnover, like you said earlier in the year, we give the nod to the defense. But overall, especially in the 4-game losing streak that we've had here, especially the last 2 games, the tell is exactly what Clay said. It's the giving up of the third down conversion. When you give up over half of your third downs on average, you're going to lose that football game just because that's where the games are won and losses. That's extra possessions that you would have defensively, the reason why we have almost three guys at 100 tackles, if Jalen Catalon hadn't been taken out of games that he shouldn't be taken out of, he would have close to 100 tackles as well. It's because we're taking so many snaps on defense. It's just, that has nothing to do with, it has a little bit to do with the offense being so fast, but it also has to do with just can't get off the field.
Yeah, got to run, Jared. Appreciate the call. Hey, we're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. We'll pick up your point on the other side of the break. Gaston's has winter rates in effect right now, so if you want to stay in the months of December, January, February, it's a great time to stay and save a lot of money on their lodging. And if you're worried about social distancing, you're worried about the pandemic right now, hey, Gaston's is the place. It's right here in our state, easy to get to. It's and they got all their cabins and lodges are private accommodations, so you're not passing others in the hallway. You're not worried about unintended interactions with others when you go to Gaston's, because all of their setup is private and individual. There's no better activity for social distancing than fishing on the White River. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours at Frank Rowe Furniture. For the month of December, all appliances on sale at Frank Rowe Furniture. French doors, side-by-side, and top-mount freezer refrigerators. Dishwashers, 5 cubic foot chest and 14 cubic foot upright freezers. Electric coil and smooth top ranges. 4, 5, and 6 burner gas ranges. 100% made in the USA Speed Clean. Conservator made by Whirlpool, and Hot Point made by GE washers and dryers. All appliances on sale. Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18-month same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
And so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7. RandallFord.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
Whether it's a game day, a holiday, an office function, or your family lunch or dinner, Whole Hog Cafe in Fort Smith is ready to serve you their award-winning barbecue and sides. Call either of the Whole Hog Fort Smith locations on Borough Road or Phoenix Avenue, or go online to WholeHogFortSmith.com and check out their buddy packs and party packs. Both Whole Hog locations are open with limited seating until further notice. They're open 11 till 6 Tuesday through Saturday. Experience award-winning barbecue and sides at Whole Hog Cafe today.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today. 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Evans Body Shop would like to take a moment to say thank you to our community, friends, family, and crew. Thank you for voting us the best independent body shop in the River Valley for the 3rd year in a row. Thank you for supporting us and trusting us with your vehicles for the last 14 years. Thank you for your referrals and reviews that sing our praises. We truly appreciate each and every one of you that have helped build our business an excellent reputation. From our family at Evans Body Shop to yours, have a very Merry Christmas and a blessed holiday season.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Jefferson gets the snap, wants to throw, deep left side, got a man at the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas! The pass is complete. Touchdown, Arkansas, 14 yards.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
Want to talk about what's going down in Austin, Texas. I'm sure Clay's reveling in the misery from Longhorn fans, what they're going through. Also, get Clay's thoughts on
misery or embarrassment. I'm not sure. I don't know if you can embarrass a Longhorn fan, though.
Combination of a bunch of things. But we will,
humiliation. Yeah, exactly. I don't know that they know what embarrassment is, though. So, hey, we're brought to you by NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, also a location down in Fort Smith as well. They've got, right now, if you have not paid attention to the price of gold or the price of silver, they've both been on the rise. In fact, gold is at all-time highs. So if you got gold coins, you got silver coins, silver flatware, gold jewelry that's in a jewelry box that you are not going to wear, that pendant your wife's never going to wear again, it's out of style. Hey, why not take it to NWA Gold and Silver before it gets misplaced, lost in a move, or something happens to it, and let NWA Gold and Silver turn it into cash for you. 1130 North Walton in Bentonville for the location in Benton County. Down in Washington County in Fayetteville, you'll find them in Nelson's Crossing by Jason's Deli. And on the south side of the tunnel, you'll find them in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue, just above Central Mall. That's NWA Gold and Silver. Bentonville, Fayetteville, and in Fort Smith, the people that pay the most.
Clay, before we get to the decision of Urban Meyer, I know you can get into more detail about the passing of Fred Akers, former Razorback, former Texas head coach, took over for Darrell Royal. Just kind of want to get your thoughts about the former Longhorn and former Razorback.
Well, he's a great man, and he was, the end was so sad for him, dementia, and because of the dementia, he was basically locked away. His family could not see him, and it was the last year in hospice was just a horrible way to go out. And so I'd seen a post by his wife Diane on Facebook that just made you want to cry. And what we've gone through with COVID and people in the nursing homes and how they've been pretty much locked away from family and loved ones is just so sad. And that's what happened with Freddie. He played at Arkansas, made a big field goal for one of our great victories, and I will say that the game he was involved in the most was bringing a number 1 Texas team to Fayetteville and Arkansas putting it on them. So you can say he was helpful in the cause.
That's the 81 game?
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about, yeah. So, yeah, but he's a neat person. I had a chance to visit with him through the years and always kind and respectful. And as much as a Texas coach can appreciate, the legacy of being a Razorback, that he did that. And that's a fine walk to try to make, I especially in my eyes.
Yeah,
I guess I should say.
Clay, this is something that I've learned from you, learned from reading various Razorback books, is the dynamic between Frank Broyles and Darrell Royal, the fact that they were really good friends, and I think you told me that they vacationed together.
Yeah. Yes. They'd go out to California for 2 weeks.
That is so odd to me with how bitter that rivalry was back in the day. And I know some people still hold it in the same regard, even though it's not. But just for Akers to play at Arkansas and then coach at Texas, you don't see that often. You didn't see relationships like Frank and Darrell had, but I guess it was just a different time back then.
It was a different time, and it's. There were other relationships like that in Texas among different coaches. I know Spike Dykes at Texas Tech. He was buddies with a lot of the Texas A&M folks, and it was just a different time. And there's a great piece that's out there on the web right now on the demise of the Southwest Conference and some of those relationships between coaches. And Jackie Sherrill talked about it some. Is really entertaining, and that, there were some guys on Texas staff that went to Texas A&M or to Baylor. There were guys that were on Texas Tech staffs that went to Texas, and it was really kind of strange, Darrell Royal. But here's the part that was really fascinating. So Darrell Royal played at the University of Oklahoma, and then when he went to Texas, the rivalry between Royal and Switzer was just – it was not like Broyles Royal.
They didn't vacation.
No, they didn't vacation together. They spied on each other. So that's what makes that would be going on, makes the Texas-Arkansas, some of the friendship between the coaches makes it far more interesting. Yeah.
So what's your take on what is going on now at the University of Texas? Tom Herman is the sitting head coach, but they've been playing footsies with Urban Meyer, and apparently there's at least some rumor or some news circulating that Urban Meyer doesn't want the job. So what's your take on what Texas is doing, kind of leaving Tom Herman out there waving in the wind, so to speak?
Yeah, what I would like for them to do is go ahead and fire Herman so that we have some chaos. And then I would like somehow for Urban Meyer to intimate that he will take the job, and he shows up and they introduce him and they play Texas fight and everything. And then all at once you see kind of something, like shock on his face, and you see his wife over the side and she's pulling him over. And then he comes back and he says, she's decided we're not staying, and that they would then leave. That would be my perfect scenario for Texas.
Do a Dana Altman.
Actually, do it. Well, Dana was overnight. I would like it to be, in a public setting where his wife is like, just gives him the little, index finger, like, come here. And then they get on a plane and go back to Columbus or wherever it is that maybe he's in Florida now. I don't know.
Now, I'm of the opinion that a strong coach that rebuilds the Texas program actually is good for Arkansas, because the better Texas is, the worse A&M is. Do you subscribe to that theory?
That's a point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think there's enough Texas players to support several good programs. I mean, it's been proven in the past. I think Oklahoma and Oklahoma State are taking Texas players, so I'm not sure that the dynamics would fall. I mean, this is my honest opinion of what's going on at Texas. They got players. They're not going to suddenly have a great number of more talented 4-star and 5-star players. They're getting them. They're just not, there's something in the water down there. They're not tough enough. They don't practice hard enough. Their weight program's not tough enough. Now, I know that Charlie Strong, that was what he thought was wrong and tried to fix it, and it went you have to have someone that has a Sam Pittman philosophy that we're going to work hard, but we're going to make it fun. You can't just work hard. You can't just have fun. You've got to get your work in, but you've got to get it done in a way that the players enjoy it and they look forward to coming to practice. I'm going to bet that at Texas the last few years there didn't anybody want to go to practice.
Probably not.
They did not. They weren't on the same page with their coaches, which just makes me so happy.
Hey, we're brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. The pre-order sale is on right now for Hot Springs Spas. During the month of December, you can stop by, pre-order your hot tub right now. It will be on its way, and you get $1,000 off on select models at Burton Pools and Spas. You can stop in at Springdale and in Fort Smith. Models start at $28.95. You can look at all the different models online, pick your color of the cabinet, the tub, all of that online right now at burtonpools.com. Also check out the Endless Pools with 8 swim spa models to choose from as well. Burton Pools and Spa, Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com.
Hour number 3 of the Morning Rush coming up. Stay with us.
The Powerball jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $200 million. So, what would you do if you won?
Oh, I would throw a joyous party, probably celebrate with the worst dance moves anybody's ever seen before.
I would spoil my little brothers.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Powerball jackpot of more than $200 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier basketball line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Pre-order your holiday hot tub today at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. You can pre-order right now and save up to $1,000 off on select models at Burton Pools and Spas. Hot tubs start at $28.95 with 26 models to choose from. Don't forget about Endless Pools with 8 swim spa models to choose from. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun. The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
The Harry Robinson Automotive family is proud to again been nominated the best of the best in 7 different categories. Stop by Harry Robinson Salisal Ford for 0% financing this month on select 2024 models, including Fusions, Edge, Escape, Expedition, and Explorers. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, where you always get more for your trade. 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Harry Robinson Salisal
The best of the best.
Christmas time is here, and it's time to see the folks at the Breeden RV Center in Van Buren. Go check out the new inventory arriving weekly so you can make your Christmas time extra special this year by purchasing your dream trailer. The only dealer that gives you maintenance for life for free. Breeden RV can service all RV makes and models. Give them a call at 262-2418 or check them out online at BreedenRV.com. Mention you heard this on ESPN Arkansas and get an extra $500 cash back when you buy a new or used RV. Merry Christmas from Breeden RV.
you could win a year of free internet from Wave Rural Connect. Here's how it works. If you sign up and are contracted between October 1st and December 31st, 2020, you have a chance to win 1 year of internet based on the internet speed you signed up for. That's it. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online, waveruralconnect.com to get details and sign up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is Randy Magnus, mortgage loan manager with Arvest Bank in Fort Smith. Have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about their rate after their loan is closed. Your friends at Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan. With Arvest competitive rates, you might be able to lower your monthly payment, shorten the term of your loan, or both. Arvest services 99% of the loans that originate, so most of the time you can deal with any of our local branches for all your mortgage needs. Please give us a call at 479-573-1127 or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for a Fort Smith loan officer. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
They say, trust the process. But if enjoyment isn't part of that process, don't trust the process. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Mainly clear sky tonight. An overnight low will drop down in the upper 20s to low 30s. Lots of sunshine Tuesday with our high in the upper 50s to low 60s. And then Wednesday, lots of sunshine. Our high on Wednesday, right around 65. And then as we head through Thursday, lots of sun and upper 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Western Arkansas Counseling. Help a veteran today. Call 1-800-542-1031.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Quantum Property Services. Buying, selling, investing, and encompassing all your property needs.
But I thought KJ gave us a little bit more as far as in the running game. He ran the offense incredibly fast. Anybody could see he had a great football game, took care of the ball, ran the offense. Certainly really, really proud of him. And after the game, he was very emotional. I certainly can't appreciate that. I loved everything about him on Saturday. I really did.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time. If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Okay. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
That was Sam Pittman talking about KJ Jefferson's performance, and we'll get to that conversation coming up here on the Morning Rush. I know that many of you have had dialogue already on what KJ was able to do against the Missouri Tigers and the potential against Alabama, depending on the condition of Felipe Franks. We'll get into that. We'll talk about Jalen Catalon. He's being recognized as one of the best defensive backs in college football. His versatility, had to play a little cornerback on Saturday, as Clay mentioned, switching from his natural safety position. Also want to talk about just the quarterbacks overall, what that is looking right later in the program. It is a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including the Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4. Do it here in Arkansas, your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. We also will get into your hog update coming up, but before we do all of that, Clay, you had yet to hear the the winner and loser of the Chaos in the Cantina, the taco eating contest, and you're watching the video a little bit. What did you think of Jenkins and I's performance?
I am.
What's the breakdown here?
Well, I'm going to critique what's
you better be
going
careful
on,
with your words here, Clay.
And
we should. Huh?
And it appears that SmackDown is just kind of soaking in the atmosphere and playing to the crowd. And Ty does not look up. No, he is looking straight down at his plate. He's going at it double-fisted. And every once in a while, SmackDown will take a bite, and he looks around. He makes sure he looks up into the camera and smiles. And it's like,
hang on, Clay,
he's talking to somebody now and
Clay,
looking over his shoulder.
You're kind of describing the parable of the tortoise and the hare here. I mean, is that what we were really dealing with on Saturday? You know, that Ty just kept his nose to the grindstone.
That SmackDown is talking to people.
Yeah, I mean,
and Ty there is only one focus, and that is to cram tacos as fast as he can into his mouth, chase it with a little water, and then go to the next one.
But was it the tacos, or was it Ty's desire to win? Because I think that's what we really learned is Ty's desire to win at all cost. That was what it really the will to win.
I think you've got two different styles. You've got one that is enjoying being on the stage, that's SmackDown, and you got another one that has decided he's going to win.
Yeah.
Tortoise
in the hare.
Have I got it right?
I think it's tortoise in the hare.
I'd say one of us had already been used to the spotlight, and all he cared about was winning. The other one was still getting acclimated to that said spotlight.
That's what it is?
That's what it looked like to me.
That's what it looked like to you?
That seems like what Clay was reiterating as well.
I don't know whether you would have to, Ty, there's no way you would know what was going on because your focus was singular. It was to stuff Joe's tacos in your mouth.
I don't know
chew,
that. Yeah.
And then
I think the focus was just on winning. Win at all costs.
It was double-fisted.
Yeah.
Well, Clay, I had a bunch of people ask me prior to the contest beginning.
So how did it – what was the final score? What was the final score?
14.5 to 9.5. He ate 14 tacos. I ate 9 tacos. And it's fine.
Okay.
I've accepted
so
defeat.
Then
I've accepted
after it was all over, what did your stomachs feel like?
I felt fine.
I didn't.
Well, yeah, you didn't eat anything.
It's a real shame the cameras can't catch what finger I'm giving you right now.
There would be no reason for your stomach to feel bad.
You just had a normal meal. I mean,
Clay, I didn't eat till about 7.
5 more tacos and you would have felt bad.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
So I didn't eat. My stomach was churning. I didn't eat till later that night. But
SmackDown ordered an appetizer.
When's the next time you're going to have tacos?
He had played an nachos when this was over.
See, there's this rumor going around this office place that I had multiple margarita mimosas prior to the match.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. That is false. I had one. I thought tequila would help loosen the system up, and it did for a short period of time. I had one,
and chips and salsa.
I didn't eat.
It's just listen. No self-discip on your part.
I don't give.
You didn't get up and bite 16 miles like I did that morning.
You're right.
I didn't eat.
If that's the reason I lost because my fat, didn't get up and bike 16 miles, then God bless you, my child.
I didn't eat.
You earned it if you bike 16 miles because I can tell you something. There ain't no chance in hell of me getting on a bike and biking 16 miles.
Listen,
if I bike 16 miles, I ain't walking for a week.
The other self-discipline, you don't eat or drink before prior to competition, big dog.
Okay, that's fine.
Can't do that.
Okay.
I'm saying I was perplexed, like staring at you as you drink this mimosa and eating chips and salsa. It's like you realize we're
That's
gonna.
when you knew you had it, didn't you?
Everyone kept looking at me and asking why I was angry. I wasn't angry. I was just so focused on the task at hand. This is a war, big dog. You went in all happy-go-lucky, like you were just gonna waltz in.
Well, Clay did.
You got tethered on Saturday.
That's fine. It is what it is. I'm a BB Badger. You're a lot Christian guy. I'm used to getting tethered by Christian guys anyway, so it's
y'all
fine.
are better in basketball than us. Last time we played BB, we lost in overtime, but
that is right. Well, 9 times out of 10, it's not that way, so it's fine. I've accepted it. I talked a lot of crap leading up to the week because one of us had to, and it worked. Clay described it perfectly because he almost made it sound like I was.
Muhammad Ali talked a lot of noise, but he backed it up.
I'm not Muhammad Ali. Let's just get.
Well, no, that's clear.
And
that's clear.
Listen, if you're gonna pull Reggie Miller, or Michael Jordan, or Larry Bird, or any of the great Gary Payton, any of the great trash talkers that come to mind, what do you have to do, big dog?
Back it up, Ty.
Back it up.
But yes, master.
Don't call me that, but I just.
Now, here's what I'm going to have challenge next because
I
there's
thought
somebody
if you want to summarize.
Go ahead, Clay.
If you want to summarize, that just by looking at the video, you got Ty on the left. He looks like he's an offensive guard. I don't mean size-wise, but I mean he's just locked in to
grit and determination,
doing warfare.
Yeah.
Built different.
And then you've got SmackDown, and he looks like he's a quarterback. He wants to look around, make sure everybody sees him.
Wide
wants
receiver.
to make, it's just a different. Yeah,
he's a show
got
pony.
A little flair to
he's
him.
a show pony. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like this is an event. This is an event. I mean, if it would have been a rope, you would have walked around and climbed up on the top turnbuckle.
I am a wrestling fan,
and
so yes,
waved to everybody.
The way you're describing this to me, I mean, you're describing me to a T because I am the wrestling geek of this whole radio station, this our ESPN family, because nobody else at the station cares at all about wrestling.
Do you take offense to show pony?
No, of course not. No, I'm a showman.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And I just want the record to show that when I stood up prior to the contest and said, everybody, I'm fixing to whoop Ty's, you know what, whose idea was that?
I guess yours.
No, I'm pretty sure there was a little birdie in my ear saying, like, hey, Jenkins, you need to stand up and tell him that.
Because I think your boss expected you to back it up.
Yeah,
when you have 120 pounds on a much smaller, inferior competition.
Okay,
I think
we don't have to bring my weight into this conversation. It's fine. Hey, I've accepted it. It's fine. If you think you can do better than Ty in the challenge, by all means, be my guest.
The whole, and we'll tie a bow on this conversation because I know we have to talk. The whole idea was after this, we would call it the SmackDown Challenge because the expectation was where you were going to beat me and you had to eat this amount of tacos in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we were going to put it on the menu over
But
there.
now, since I won, now it's going to be called what, the SmackDown? Or I don't. Your nickname is coming to question, big dog. I don't even know if I can call you that anymore because you.
Okay, you're reading too much into JT's text messages right now.
Oh.
JT doesn't even refer to me anymore. He's referring to me as Matt from BB now, so. Which is fine. I don't care. If I lose listeners because of this, then so be it. I'll just.
Well, hey, easy now. Let's not be losing listeners.
Porter
losing supporters of me. Let me rephrase that.
Porter says everyone has a plan until they get hit in the mouth when they see all the tacos in front of him.
That's right.
He was overwhelmed.
Good Mike Tyson phrase.
He reminded me of through the years I've seen some Texas teams come in and they've had some good-looking offensive tackles, and they just couldn't perform. I mean, it's like you're just glad to see it. I want to check, make sure in your background that that your degree doesn't say University of Texas. I just want to make sure of that.
Clay,
okay.
I'm glad you brought that up because the better comparison would actually be Dallas Cowboys, all flash, all pizzazz, but when it comes down to it, you can't amount to anything.
He is a Cowboys
Are we
guy,
done? Are we done with it? Now we're not talking about this Wednesday when you come.
Thank
on
you all
halftime,
for
Clay.
letting me. Thank you for. Oh, we'll do it tomorrow.
No,
halftime,
this is it. This was your 10 minutes to get on my butt about it. So all bets are off when it comes to halftime tomorrow.
Speaking of Cowboys, Ravens tonight.
Just so you
go ahead.
Just so you know, I'm really old and I forget where I've been and what I've done sometimes.
That's oh man.
That's my wife is like, where were you today? I don't know.
Only thing I know is after this whole thing has happened. You've been talking a lot of crap to me about. I want to see you do this thing next, or me and you do a challenge next, like a barbecue cook-off or something.
Oh, cooking? Yeah, I do cooking. Yeah,
or an eating challenge.
I'm not doing eating.
I'll cook it and let somebody else eat it.
I'm not doing it. I'm no.
Hey, speaking of cooking, I did have a little fun last night. I made homemade chicken and dumplings from scratch.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Yeah,
it was really good.
We did that.
Really good.
We did that after Thanksgiving. We took the remainder of the turkey carcass and made turkey stock and then did turkey and dumplings. So, yeah.
Yeah, I boiled a whole chicken and went from there.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
All right, we're going to get into your hog update in just one sec. I also want to talk about specifically Jalen Catalon and how he ties in to one of your, if not your best player on the football team. But first, want to go to the phone lines and welcome in an attendee to this Chaos in the Cantina, Mr. Robert in Fort Smith. Hey, Robert.
Save me, Robert.
Sorry we disappointed you on Saturday, Robert.
Oh,
SmackDown.
Okay. I did not rag on him at the halftime show yesterday. I'm not going to do it today.
Well,
Thank you, Robert.
I saw your granddaughter there. She had her SmackDown T-shirt on, and I saw her crying as she was leaving the restaurant. I feel really bad about that. So I hope she's okay. So.
Yeah, she's all right. Anyway, I want to do a conspiracy theory, and y'all can tell me I'm crazy and stupid. That's fine. But Urban Meyer said no to Texas because of health issues. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think he would like the Big 12 style of football. But if Michigan comes open, would that not be a story? I know they wouldn't, but would it not be a story for them to talk to him?
Robert, that's a great point.
Why wouldn't they? Tell me why they
I
wouldn't.
know why, but it's just because it's Michigan. They hate, But I would if I was Michigan, but that's just me.
So, Robert, you bring up this is a point we've yet to speak on yet. Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk has reported that not Urban Meyer, Jim Harbaugh is being looked at by certain NFL franchises. Now, there's also another report lingering out there from several Michigan beat reporters that they're trying to rework Jim Harbaugh's contract and lower it down a little bit. So there's a lot of different storylines coming out of Ann Arbor. I know the two of the biggest programs in college football being Michigan, being Austin, they're still concerned. A lot of fans don't know if Herman and Harbaugh are going to be their coaches coming up. But if you're Michigan, you at least...
Or they're concerned they will be their coaches coming up, might be that's probably a better way of putting it.
The better way to put it. But if you're Michigan, you at least make the call. But that is going to be something that the college football landscape is going to be paying close attention to because of how impactful Jim Harbaugh is in the college football landscape and just the Michigan job in general. Robert, we appreciate your call. It's a good thing to think about. I don't know what's going to happen with Urban Meyer. He's it seems like there's different reports on him every single month when it comes to him being at Fox, college football jobs that come up, and we'll just have to wait and see when it comes to that.
Hey, we're brought to you by Arts Barbecue and Burgers. They got a lot of great stuff that they've added to the menu. The El Diablo burger. They got the patty melt they've added. They got the smoked ribeye that is on the menu. And also, if you're thinking about the Christmas holiday, I know it's a few weeks away still, but if you're thinking about a smoked ham, maybe another smoked turkey, smoked tenderloin, beef tenderloin, pork tenderloin, smoked ribeye, prime rib, I should say prime rib, which is ribeye. All of those things are available for the holidays at Arts Barbecue and Burgers. They did a great job on like 400 different families' Thanksgiving dinners, and they can help you with your Thanksgiving dinner at Arts Barbecue and Burgers for Christmas. I shouldn't say Thanksgiving. They can help you with your Christmas dinner this year. So call them at 452-2550. They can smoke your bird, your tenderloin, any of those items for the holiday season. They're doing all of those things. I enjoyed my fried turkey. I know you did as well.
It was wonderful.
We do something usually a little bit different for Christmas. So prime ribs, beef tenderloins, pork tenderloins, all of those things. Let Wade and the crew help you with that at Arts Barbecue and Burgers. 452-2550 for Arts Barbecue and Burgers.
All right, let's talk some hog update with you. Houston Nutt now has a cameo. Do you know what a cameo is, Tommy and Clay?
Isn't that where you can hire somebody to do a line for you or give you a
I think it's
video
a brief,
or something like that?
It's a brief appearance in a movie.
There's a app or a service.
Correct.
Musselman's on there. So
yes, Eric Musselman's on there.
If I wanted Musselman to say, hey, Clay Henry is a terrible fly fisherman, and the last thing he caught with a fly rod was a coffee can. I mean, we could pay him to do that,
Mm-hmm.
And that Clay really needs to or better yet, we could get Musselman to say, SmackDown, it's terrible taco eater. So we come up with this whole script about taco eating and SmackDown and get going. I don't know what he charges, but they're
need to look up his rate.
It just depends on the level of your celebrity on how much it is.
I think SmackDown is a good taco eater. He's not a competitive taco.
He's not a competitive.
SmackDown's
a fine taco eater. He just isn't a competitive taco eater.
He enjoyed his tacos. He looked like he enjoyed every one of them. Ty, I don't think you didn't taste one of them, did you, Ty?
No.
I'm going to be clear. I don't have COVID. I did taste some of them, but I
smelled them. I didn't taste them.
Okay, good.
So
Thanks.
We want to, with everything going on right now, we need to be clear about that. But I did not taste a lot of that. So
I mean, we probably ought to get Clay Henry on Cameo. So
I think a lot of people
you
would
could probably
pay
make
for
a lot of money there, Clay.
So a Morning Rush listener, Carl Lavaca, paid Eric Musselman to be a part of his fantasy draft, and so
There you go.
Muss went over. So if you're interested in this, whether it's Eric Musselman, which is Coach Nutt, there's plenty of other celebrities outside of Arkansas that do this. You can check it out at Cameo. Did him a free plug right there.
I wish William Shatner was on there. You probably don't remember the show Boston Legal with the character Denny Crane. You always walk around Denny Crane.
You and Ruskin.
I never missed that one.
I would love to get William Shatner to say Dave Van Horn because, I think we need that.
Was that
because to me, you have a lot of questions about Arkansas baseball, this or that, and the answer is always Dave Van Horn. Can Arkansas make a regional or super regional this year? Dave Van Horn. Will Arkansas be competitive in the West? Dave Van Horn.
Is that like Law and Order or like?
Kind of, but it was
West Wing kind of.
It'd be a good show for you to go watch.
Okay, I've watched a little bit of West Wing. I know that's an older show.
This isn't West Wing. This is William Shatner makes that show.
Okay. The men's basketball team has a new game scheduled. They'll play Southern University this Wednesday. Tip-off set for 7. We'll have airtime for you, 6:30 here on ESPN Arkansas. They're 2-0 all-time against Southern. Many of you were wondering, hey, are you going to play Darrell Walker and Euler? Well, Coach Walker said, Coach Musselman and I had a good conversation about the teams possibly playing this week. Unfortunately, the circumstances and timing won't make it possible this season, but we are looking forward to future games between our two sports programs. So eventually the Trojans and the Razorbacks will face off again in basketball, but it will not be this season, fellas.
I don't know this, but I'm gonna speculate wildly here. COVID testing and your protocols and making sure your testing matches up and is acceptable to your university and your conference it's hard to do right now. And I think that's really one of the things right now is making sure that you find opponents right now that match up with your testing protocols and when they're testing, when they get the results, and to make a game happen in a day or two with PCR testing and all these things that are required now, that's difficult to do in a 48-hour notice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just finding someone, hey, when did you test? Well, we just tested yesterday because that's when they did. Well, okay, when will you get the results? Well, we'll get them tomorrow. Okay, well, you can play if assuming everybody gets, a negative result.
Speaking of basketball, the UCA game has been moved back this Saturday. It was originally slated for 5 o'clock. It's now 7. We will now be doing Hog Reaction, a full Hog Reaction live at Randall Ford Saturday. So excited about that. That will be Tommy and I this Saturday when it comes to talking about the hopefully close game between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. And then because of that, the reason we're able to do that is because the UCA game moved back. So a little schedule change for Saturday with the Arkansas basketball game. They said that basketball game was moved because of the Alabama game, so gives a little more time for campus operations, logistics on campus between the football and the basketball game to clear the parking lots, security, broadcast crews, all of it, you name it, to get in place to host 2 events back-to-back on campus.
Myron Cunningham has been named the 4th captain after Rakeem Boyd opted out this season. This came down to the SEC office yesterday. Moses Moody named SEC Player of the Week, and this is something we'll talk about more extensively coming up. Jalen Catalon has been named a Thorpe Award semifinalist for the nation's best defensive back. And this is a conversation I want to hold on to and come back to with Clay, because he wrote a really good piece on Grant Morgan. I think there's a legitimate debate. Who's the most important player? Is it Grant Morgan? Is it Felipe Franks? Or is it Jalen Catalon? And we will come back to that coming up shortly.
All right, coming up tomorrow, Brett Good, a former Razorback, former Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers, will be with us in the 7 a.m. hour. We'll discuss special teams tomorrow and the Arkansas Razorbacks and playing Alabama this week. He's now part of the winning team at Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. So if you're looking for someone to talk with about employee benefits, health insurance, staffing management solutions, commercial or personal insurance needs, Brett is your guy. Call him right now or text him, 479-651-2292. That's his cell phone number, so you can get directly in touch with him. Northwest Arkansas, River Valley, anywhere in Arkansas, Oklahoma, for any of your insurance needs, Brett is there for you. That's 479-651-2292. Brett will be with us tomorrow in the 7 a.m. hour
here on the Morning Rush.
It's also National Christmas Tree Day, and we'll save this for the tail end of the show. Are you a fake tree or a real tree, Morning Rush listener? And this is, people get heated over this. They feel like that it's not a Christmas tree unless it's real. My parents used to do real. Now they're fake. Now they go back to real. They go back and forth, it seems like, every year. But I want to get your take on that as well. 877-377-6963. But Jalen Catalon coming up. Let's talk about one of the best freshmen.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you. I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
When you want a beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars in an atmosphere befitting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items, including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites. Dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Ho, ho, ho!
What do you know, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I've cooked up the perfect way to beat the 2020 blues. This month, you can jingle all the way home in one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. Is your current car less reliable than a reindeer? Is it giving you resting Grinch face? If your old ride has your tinsel in a tangle, dump that sled and get up to $3,100 extra for your trade. Don't get Scrooged by past credit mishaps. My elves are working round the clock to help you get approved. And my non-commissioned sales staff will make it easy for you to jingle all the way home in a nicer, newer car. Keeping the car you have, get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done once 67 people dump their sleds only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Lindsey to the air, to the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. Knox holds it in.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
We've seen Jalen Catalon make play after play this season, and now outside of the Razorback fan base, really the SEC fan base, he's got to get some recognition. A semifinalist for the Jim Thorpe Award given to the nation's best defensive back. Does he have a shot at winning? He leads FBS freshmen not only in tackles but solos as well. And we'll talk about what he's done for the Razorback defense this year coming up here next.
If you're building a home, it will be stressful. Not can be, will be. And that's whether there's change in plans, which there always are, subcontractors not showing up, or whether you're the contractor. You're dealing with the owner who's got issues with non-payment. A lot of these issues can result in needing a lawyer, or you might be headed to court because of a lawsuit. If you're a homeowner or a contractor and you find yourself in need of legal assistance, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. They have experience in representing homeowners and contractors. Call Brad Hall or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley. That's 434-2414. Or in Northwest Arkansas, 479-802-6560. You can find both of those phone numbers, more about their practice and details online at artriallawyers.com. That's artriallawyers.com.
Clay, you wrote a really good piece detailing what Grant Morgan means to his football team. And we saw Missouri Tigers give up 27 points to Missouri in that fourth quarter. Grant's injury was a big part of that. And we've kind of talked about this, and when Jalen Catalon was out for the second half and then the first half of this Missouri game, we saw that impact. But I think you made the case a little bit that Grant could be your most impactful player when it comes to the discussion of him, Franks, or Catalon.
Yeah, I mean, there was a period this year where I thought, well, it's got to be Franks because he's the quarterback, and you can't, you've got inexperienced guys behind him, and he's making big plays for your offense and, giving you a chance to win. And, maybe the backups aren't quite ready yet. So you think, well, it's a quarterback. And that's the normal way to look at things. And then you watch Catalon's play, and it's 7-7 when he's ejected at Texas A&M, and they don't do well after that. They fight back and get the lead against LSU, and then he's ejected and they lose the game. So you think, well, those two games, are some evidence of that. And you just see all the big plays that he makes. And then Grant Morgan is making all these tackles, but do they have somebody that can play if he's out? Well, we saw Saturday, I think in all three cases, that Catalon and Franks don't compare to what the worth is of Grant Morgan. And I couldn't take my eyes off the end of the game. Everybody's congratulating everybody, and most of the people have gone off the field at that point, say 10 or 15 minutes later. There at the middle of the field, there's Rick Jones and Grant Morgan. Grant's on crutches. He's got his knee in ice. And I don't think Rick wanted to leave him. And Rick was trying to console him. And I would have loved to have been there and listened to that conversation between those two guys, a great coach and a great player. And Grant Morgan will be forever just, burned my image of him was a second quarter play, and Larry Roundtree bounces outside, and he gets to the corner. He's going to run for 30 yards, kind of like those plays that they hit in the fourth quarter with Beatty. And Grant Morgan chased him down from behind, made a tackle for no gain. And I was like, boy, that is a big-time play by a big-time linebacker. Just so impressive. And I'm sure Roundtree thought, hey, I've got the corner on this guy, but he didn't. And that's what Grant's been doing the whole year, and it's really impressive to me. I mean, it is. I cannot stress enough what he means to this football team. I'm on the Football Writers All-American team, and there might be, I don't pick the final team, but let's just put it this way, he's got a great shot to be on it.
Yeah, he's made play after play, and we were talking about Felipe Franks gutting through some injuries this season, whether it seemed to be his ankle, his knee, his left wrist. Grant Morgan looks like he's been playing with one arm throughout the majority of the season. He would have a few more interceptions if he had more than one arm, and he made that play at the end of the Ole Miss game. That was just incredible and ended that. And go ahead, Clay.
Well, I know someone that that works at the athletic department, and they were like, okay, he's got a tray of food and he can't carry it because he's got his arm in a sling, after he'd had the dislocated elbow. And this particular worker was, well, what's the result of your elbow? And he says, I don't really know. He says, what do you mean you don't really know? And he says, well, they wanted to do an MRI. And I told him no, because if they found something, I didn't want to know it.
Jeez.
So, in other words, they might find something and they say you can't play. So he's just like, well, skip that crap. I'm just going to wear it in a sling and ice and rehab, and then I'll go play. And that's exactly what he's done. So they do not have the official diagnosis of what that elbow is. It's probably torn ligaments or something. But he's not that. He'd have to lose that whole arm at the shoulder before they take him off the field, I think.
That's that grit and toughness, and you have to respect that as a Razorback fan, that despite what looks to be pretty insurmountable pain, Grant's playing through it. We'll see if he is going to come back for Bama. His knee injury, let's be honest, it didn't look good on Saturday.
Yeah. Hey, stop by River City Bistro for lunch today. It's become one of my favorite stops right now because of the great soups. They had corn chowder yesterday. I talked about the cream of asparagus soup, which might not sound like one of your favorites, but I'm going to tell you, it was really good soup. There's something different every day, but they always have the Italian wedding soup, which is one of their daily staples. Chicken noodle soup, something they have all the time. So stop in, try one of the soups. We're in soup eating season right now, something to keep you warm and going right now at River City Bistro. Great sandwich to go with that. You can get the soup and a half sandwich. You can pick on their Pick 2 for 10 menu. Great for lunch any day. Don't forget, Monday through Friday, 11 to 8. Saturdays, they open at 10 for brunch on the weekends, both Saturday and Sunday at River City Bistro. Their menu's online, rcbistro.com. Stop in, River City Bistro, Stonewood Village Shopping Center in Fort Smith.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours at Frank Rowe Furniture. For the month of December, all appliances on sale at Frank Rowe Furniture. French doors, side-by-side, and top-mount freezer refrigerators. Dishwashers, 5 cubic foot chest and 14 cubic foot upright freezers. Electric coil and smooth top ranges. 4, 5, and 6 burner gas ranges. 100% made in the USA Speed Clean. Conservator made by Whirlpool, and Hot Point made by GE washers and dryers. All appliances on sale. Frank Rowe Furniture, Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here for the Fitzman. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fitzman can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, the Fitzman can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call the Fitzman and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith. Call 484-9888. And Kohler and Green Insurance in Van Buren. Call 474-9888 today. Or online at kohlergreen.com.
Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today. 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Stop in today at Randall Ford, where you'll find over 150 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. We have what you want at the price that will fit your budget. We have 35 certified pre-owns. We even have over 25 vehicles under $10,000 and no payment for 90 days. All used vehicles go through a 115-point safety inspection. Plus, we will deliver your new purchase right to your front door. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or online 24/7 at randallford.com, home of the lowest price guarantee.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
59-43. Hogs beat him back, though, and Smith jams it in with one hand. They threw it over the defense. Smith streaking to the bucket.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
What about Jalen's chances to win the Jim Thorpe Award? He's going up against someone this Saturday, and I say going up against, his team is going up against one of the best college football defensive players in the country, Mr. Patrick Surtain, and we'll get Clay's take on what Jalen's chances are, Jalen Catalon's chances are to win the Jim Thorpe Award given to the best defensive back in all of college football coming up here on the Morning Rush. It is a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including my favorite, the always dependable Toyota Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4 at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Before we answer that question, I want to first go to the phone lines and welcome in Mr. Kirby and Branson. Kirby, what's going on this morning, man? It's been a while.
Good morning, guys. Love the show as always. Wanted to tell y'all how proud I am of this football team, the fight that it shows, and win, lose, or draw against Alabama. I truly believe this team will fight all the way to the end. Thank you, Coach Pittman and the staff, and thank you to the team for what they've given us this year. They've returned the pride to this program. Second thing I wanted to address is Ty. I've been following you since the first day of the halftime show, and you've never failed me. And listening to Clay's description of you at the taco eating contest, and in honor of SmackDown, I think a nickname is appropriate for you. And if you've already got one, I'm sorry, but I think Ty the Real Deal Richardson would be a great nickname for you in future competition.
The Real
and on
Deal.
top of that, I want to say to y'all before I get off here, and I know y'all's time is limited, and thank you for the time you've given me. I just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and may 2021 be a much better year for us and the Hog Nation. God bless y'all, and have a great day, guys.
Kirby, likewise to you as far as Christmas, the early Christmas wishes. Secondly, to your 2020 point, I will say the good thing about 2020 is it seems like it's gone by relatively fast, but for most people, I felt like it has. Like we're in December already, and I mean, I remember
April, May, June, July.
So
like it never was going to get over.
I don't know. To me, it's gone by fast, but I know to the majority of us listening, 2020 has not been kind to us, and hopefully will be that. By that token, 2021 will be a lot better. Yeah. As far as nicknames go, I've been Tyson, T-Rich, Tyrus, Ty Dollar Sign have been the names I've been mentioned. I've never been called the Real Deal. I guess that can only apply.
Ty the Real Deal Richardson. That kind of, I could hear Michael Buffer saying that.
Can you?
That would kind of roll off the tongue there a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like that's only at competition purposes. So
I'll try that the next time I'm introducing you at the next taco eating contest.
We'll see if it works out. So by the way, Phil texting me.
Why
says,
are you flipping me the bird over there? Why am I number one?
I was scratching my head.
Oh, were you scratching your head?
Yeah, it was the only finger that could reach that low.
Ty the Real Deal Richardson. Is that a good nickname for him?
Whatever he likes.
All right, that's what Kirby.
He's earned a new nickname.
A new nickname.
So
great nickname.
Well, now wait a minute. You don't get to pick your nickname.
That's true. You don't pick your own. What he didn't.
No.
Kirby picked it. Kirby picked
Oh,
it.
I know. I thought SmackDown says he picked it.
No,
Kirby.
Kirby picked the nickname.
Ty did, whether or not Ty likes it or not is irrelevant.
Yeah.
You do not ever get to pick your own nickname. In fact, the ones that you like seldom are the ones that stick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
what we really needed is Ty to say he didn't like it, and that's the one we'd have went with.
Then it would go for it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We could say prime time. We could say the eating machine. The taco tickler.
I don't know about that one.
Taco.
Scratch that one there.
Taco tickler.
Scratch that one.
Like
yeah,
in
fact, let's just back up and act like that was never said.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Clay, do you have a nickname? I should probably text Dudley or
no nicknames.
I've heard him say a few things.
There were
I don't know
some
they were
that go back to
nicknames,
my college day, but they don't seem, they would be boring to you guys because they don't mean anything. There was when I was playing college golf, Stan Lee called me Mud because he says, we'd be out there on a rainy day, and he says Clay turns to mud. And,
or you always hit it in the mud.
No, he just said, Clay turns to mud. Just like hey, Mud. And, Mud's not a bad nickname. But, guys at I made a hole in one with the sand wedge, and Jerry Schaefer, who ran the sports desk at the Arkansas Gazette, he called me. The headline says Henry makes hole in one with wedge, and he didn't like that. He says, I would prefer that you made it with a 9-iron, so we're going to call you 9-iron.
Yeah.
So that didn't make any sense, but that stuck for a little while. I was 9-iron, just in the office. But yeah, they don't. I don't know. I mean, you could call Ty, Sunshine. He's got those, golden locks.
Yeah, we've used that one before.
Yeah. So, like the quarterback from the Titans, but he's not quarterback capable.
No, he's not that athletic.
Doesn't fit.
No.
Yeah.
Decent arm.
Not the way I heard.
No, not
okay.
Really. No.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll keep an account of the nicknames, and hopefully we'll come back to this at another time. But I do want to discuss Jalen Catalon, and I know that some people bestowed a nickname upon him, many nicknames on him based on his hard-hitting potential, based on how just productive and impactful he's been in his redshirt freshman season, and he's been impactful enough where he's gained himself as a semifinalist for the Jim Thorpe Award given to the best defensive back in college football of 12 remaining people. Clay, you and I were discussing Derek Stingley Jr. not on this list. This was the highly touted 5-star who was incredible last year.
Well, he's a returning All-American.
Yeah.
He was a freshman. He was first-team All-American on the Football Writers team, despite being a true freshman, and he had a fantastic year for them last year. Now, he started the year, he was sick and in the hospital, missed a game, and it just never took off for him. And, it was split equally. Teams targeted him, and then they targeted the true freshman on the other side. But he was just toasted by Arkansas. They got a lot of their big plays going after him, and he kind of spoke up the week of the Alabama game and wanted to cover Devontae Smith. And Smith, he went for over 200 yards against him. They knew each other from high school, so that was a mistake. But he's not on the list. The guy that's going to win it is, and we'll get to see him this week, is Patrick Surtain II, and he's Alabama's dominant cover corner, the number one cover corner in the country. Be a first-round draft pick, and he's handsy. In other words, he's going to put his hands on you. He's going to challenge the referees to call pass interference, and he plays it, into the gray area where there's going to be an arm hits your arm every time a pass comes up, and you can say, well, is he playing the ball or is that pass interference? But that's the way he's coached. That's the way Saban coached those DBs, and he's a brilliant player, and he makes a lot of tackles. And it's not because of, his guys catching the football. He comes up and runs support and is terrific. And you'll enjoy watching him play, except he plays for Alabama.
Alabama, I mean, you think about the Drake Kirkpatricks, you mentioned Surtain, Javier Arenas way back in the day. There's just a number. I know that LSU has coined the phrase DBU, Florida to some extent with Vernon Hargraves and some of the guys that they've had, but Alabama has just had some incredible secondary players over the years, and Surtain seems to be on that list. But, Clay, even if Jalen doesn't win, which I think you and I are in agreement that he's not going to, it is pretty cool to see one of your guys recognized. We know Grant Morgan leading the country in tackles right now. His status is still uncertain for this game on Saturday, but you are having some Arkansas players, not only on offense with Traylon Burks, but on defense with Morgan and Jalen Catalon. I know Jonathan Marshall has really helped his NFL stock with the way he's been able to get through double teams, sometimes even triple teams. This at least helps you excited, but for the upcoming years. But as you pointed out many times, you got to keep adding guys like this. It can't just be the ones that are making impact. You got to have the 2s and 3s that can come in and have an impact as well.
Yeah, it's been kind of fun to be on those committee meetings, and you have Arkansas players to nominate on defense. You hadn't had that in a while. It's just not been, you didn't think you'd be nominating Arkansas players this year. And of course, I think that next year Traylon Burks will probably be, thought of in those ways. So, yeah, there's some players, and there's some productive players for this Arkansas team. And if there was an award for the team that fought the hardest, from one game to the first game to the end, you nominate Arkansas for that too.
All right, that's enough sports for today. I do want to ask. I do want to ask this final question. Go ahead.
No, please, you go ahead.
I do want to ask this final question since it is National Christmas Tree Day, and we gave our takes off air about this. And Clay, you pointed out that there's not 2 types of trees; there's 3 types of trees. So, Tommy and Clay, since you guys are in latter stages of life than I am, we currently do not.
Latter stages of life. Thank you. At 44, I'm in the latter stages of life.
How do I say that? More latter later on. We don't have a tree in our house because I live with 2 other dudes. But I asked this question. Are you guys?
That's no excuse either, by the way.
Is that not?
No.
Okay, so I guess we need to get one. Fake tree, real tree. How do you guys go about doing this?
We got an artificial tree, because I don't even know where you go to buy a tree. They used to sell them over here at Hunts Park, close to where I live. I assume you can still buy them probably places. I just don't look for them. But no, we have the artificial tree. We're not bringing the real thing into the house. I mean. Not done that since I've had my own house. Don't remember that since I was a young boy. It's been close to 40 years since I've lived in a home that had a live tree, a real tree for Christmas.
Clay, what about you, man?
You gotta sweep up those needles all.
You gotta water it. Becomes a fire hazard.
You guys are like taking the spirit out of.
Well, I mean,
Christmas.
it's a lot of trouble.
Yeah, we've done it a lot of
seconds,
different
Clay.
ways through the years. Yeah, there's a lot of fun when you go to find your Christmas tree. You pick out the live one. Then there's the other option. You can get a real Christmas tree, then plant it, and then you'll have multiple trees in your yard through the years to kind of commemorate and remember that. I don't know that we want to remember 2020 Christmas.
You're right.
We may not want
that tree would die.
Live trees.
Yeah,
so that one right there has got the coronavirus. It's why it looks kind of like a Charlie Brown tree.
I do remember as a probably 4 or 5 year old boy going with my dad to cut down a tree that we took home for a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I still to this day remember that. So, live tree or fake tree for you?
We don't have any in our house right now.
No tree.
Right at this current moment.
You need a Charlie Brown tree.
We do. We need something. Clay.
One.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Hey, go to hitthatline.com. You could win $15,000 to pay rent or mortgage for a year. Brought to you by Nick and Ellie Glidewell Real Estate Agents and by Chambers Bank.
Almost said that. Yeah. Tomorrow's edition, the Morning Rush, Wednesday.
Your holiday hot tub today at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. You can pre-order